37?
Ron Artest is 37.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm sorry. That's all I had.
I got one more, too.
We are live. Episode 37 on the rocks. Ron Artest, right?
Ron Artest.
He done stole the thunder.
I had nothing.
He had no idea. He had no answers 10 seconds ago, y'all.
Nutter butter. Dog, I was thinking Steph Curry, but he's 35, right? Oh, y'all don't know Steph Curry number?
He's 30.
I don't know by number.
He's 30.
Eugene doesn't know.
I'm not.
He's 30.
What?
I'm not a. He's not.
I bet my
my guy.
ex-wife
He's
knows.
good, but I don't watch
But
him
you love
follow.
basketball.
I love
You
basketball.
said his ex-wife. Who's?
I said, I bet my ex-wife knows.
Your ex knows. She gave him the numbers.
37 is Dion for Baltimore.
That is.
And that's my favorite football player, so I wasn't going.
Rodney. Now, that's my guy. That's my
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, Rodney Harrison, boy, what a career. He is one of those guys who went down unheralded, like didn't get the love he deserved because nobody liked him. Like he was such a tough football player that people got pissed at him in real life. Wouldn't vote him on the Pro Bowl, wouldn't give him his props because he used to hit your ass. And he hit this dude. I remember one game. In the pros, they don't hit as hard as like high school and college. Because in high school and college, you got guys who are pro level and then guys who are just, their parents dropped them off and they shouldn't be there. And so when that happens, it's hell. I've never seen a hit in the pros like this. We were playing Kansas City, and Kansas City had an O-line. They had like Beast on there who was like Willie Rofe and all these cats. And they had some guard that's going to the Hall of Fame. And he pulled around, and Rodney came from safety. And I'm not lying. I know what's supposed to happen, but in my mind, I was like, there's no way Rodney's going to do this. I was like, duck, go around him. He had to go force. Rodney ran into him and knocked him down. And the dude looked, and everybody stopped because everyone's like, "Oh shit!" Like he had options. He chose death, and Rodney ran through that dude, and he was like this, and we all was like, "I don't know what Rodney on, right?" And he used to always walk around like this, yeah. And dog, he did that. We were like, "That's." Yeah, I ain't gonna say it, but
all of that.
yeah, he did get caught for HGH or something like that, roids, something like that, which hurt me, but whatever, different conversation. But he used to do the Chucky shit, and I was like, Rodney, what the hell? And then no one else wanted to play that level of football, I think. Like maybe Julius Seau. And look, I got an itty bitty here. My itty bitty. Are you gonna sit there the whole show? She just bammed her fist. Okay, you go upstairs, silly. All right, yeah. So,
And where's Rodney from?
Rodney from Chicago.
Southside Shy, baby.
Oh,
now
man.
it makes sense.
That dude
Now
is
it makes
psycho fun. I love him to death, dog. He was probably my favorite teammate of all cats. He's certainly tier one. And he's the reason I got engaged one time. We went to a party.
He said he was going to hit you if you didn't.
Nah, he was there. He famous. He Rodney Harrison in San Diego, and this girl trying to, talk, and he's like, and then I'm like, she looks amazing to me. And then I went and spoke, and next day I was engaged. I had ring money. That's all it was. Engagement to me back then just meant, you got the money for the ring? Yeah, I got that. All right.
You and those waitresses, boy.
Boy, she actually was. She worked at the Mondrian. I heard.
Miami?
Nah, L.A. Oh, she one of the finest people ever walking. She top 5 all eyeballs.
Is this the one we talked about that last time?
No, this is a different
Oh,
one.
it's a different waitress.
I've been engaged 4 times.
Do they keep the ring every time?
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I don't want that mojo.
Tricking if you got it.
No. Every trick is right here. I should have got them rings back now, because one, that's just real money, but I didn't want the energy.
Tuition.
That's tuition. Dog, I didn't want the energy though. I was like, I hate being that guy. Like I gave you something out of love, and now I'm taking it back out of finances.
But that ring is for a specific purpose. It's out of love, but it's to get married. So if you never get married, technically they're supposed to give it back to you.
Ooh, is that how you counsel
It's
your
not
boys?
a promise ring.
No, it's
Hold on, Justin. How many times you do that? You'd speak like you have the experience.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. We can look it up. I mean,
You got the rule book.
You never see when women go to court over this. The ring goes back to the guy
Really?
for that exact reason. It's not a contract, but it's somewhat of like a verbal contract.
Yeah.
You're accepting this ring because we are marrying each other.
And then
Well,
if
the
we're
marriage
not,
never happens, then that ring comes back to me. That ring is only yours because of
The contract.
because of the contract to get married.
But even after that ruling, how would you feel? Do you agree? Like, do you agree with that ruling? Like, something it has to be in a line parallel to my ethics. Like, I don't want to win something that I feel like I'm a loser for winning.
Well,
How would you
I'm
feel? No, how
just
you
saying
feel?
that's like the law to it.
No, yeah,
But
yeah.
Me, I think it just depends why we didn't get married. Like if I was going crazy doing something and I caused it to not work, then keep the ring.
So your guilt will let you.
But yeah, well, it's accountability. Like I know it's my fault. So if it's my fault, that's you did what you were supposed to do.
Hold on,
So
what-
you have the right to keep
When you
that.
say your fault,
like if I did something that caused the engagement to break
yeah, that's what I
off,
meant.
like,
it's not always gonna. It's not.
Right. I'm
always
just saying,
gonna be
if
your
it was-
fault. It could
if
be the other
was-
person.
If it was on me, like if
Yeah.
I did something. Now, if she did something
Yeah.
to break it off, then give that back, because I did my job.
Wow, so that marriage wasn't gonna work either way because you already splitting everything based on her or you instead of y'all.
That's just
Or we-
accountability.
Yeah, but still.
We agreed. I'm giving you this because we agreed to do this. Well,
But-
once we don't agree to do that no more, then all right.
But is marriage even about accountability? Is it? It's not a 50-50, be real, right? No, it can't.
No.
Okay, so it's not 50-50. So that means sometimes you are more in the wrong or she's more in the wrong, but you ain't abandoning.
Right.
And you're also not labeling or giving guilt out because you like, she 80-10, 80-20 right now, and I'm 20-80, you know? So my spirit is like, I just look at money and items like, this shit is gonna go. Like, we gonna go. But the last thing I'm about to do is marry items or marry a dollar because you don't lose money. It's just, it goes back into someone else's circulation. And then you can acquire way more, as I call it, the bank in the sky. Y'all believe in the bank in the sky? Like, it's kind of like karma, but basically, all right, you got me. All right, you got me. No worries. And then all of a sudden I get a call. Hey, Marcellus, what you doing? Nothing. Sitting downstairs. What's up? Well, we'll give you $100,000 if you just, say hello to us. And I'm like, hello to us? All right, what's your wiring number? Like, you'll get the dumbest call, and to me, it's like the bank in the sky. I've gotten several opportunities where I'm like, that's just because I was a good guy over there. It ain't got nothing to do about the merits of this moment. You believe in that?
I do. I mean, karma. I think karma is a real thing. If you treat others how you want to be treated, it usually comes back, to benefit you.
Yeah.
But when I say get it back, I'm not saying that like for money purposes. I just think that's the principle.
Yeah.
Like if we were supposed to get married and then you did something, it would have had to been something pretty serious that it caused the engagement to break. I don't think you should still keep the ring because you did that. So honestly, you shouldn't even want to keep it, but you have certain females that will. So I
Yeah.
think it's just a principle.
They call all females. I don't think I've met a woman yet. You can have this shit back. Hell nah. What's she gonna give it back
I
for?
think mine's if we had got engaged and it didn't work, I think she would have gave it back. She don't
Really?
really care about like stuff like that.
Is that what
material
she
stuff
told
like
you?
that. No, I mean I knew a long time
Yeah.
before we were married.
How's that feel? Because I know
That's-
you know some dudes she dated. Admit it. Yeah.
I don't care about that.
You don't?
I'm me.
What that mean?
I'm him.
He is. I am him. I care. You don't care about?
No,
You
because
don't-
that was before me. Why would I care about
No,
that?
it wasn't. It wasn't before you because you know. And you know them.
But I wasn't with her. Just like she know chicks that I dealt with.
I know, right. And that
I would
has
have
no
to
effect.
expect her to. I wouldn't expect her to care about that.
Hold on. You trying to say you have no, like, I don't even want to say insecurity. Like, you have no.
Watch this. I'm gonna give you something better.
Okay.
At my wedding, there's girls I used to mess with, exes that were at my wedding. She did not care.
Who invited them? You?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy. Freak off.
That's
okay.
boy for me too.
Maybe oils sold separately.
Because we still cool.
That's a hell of a reception.
I'll be in the bathroom a lot, baby. I'll be right back and go to the bathroom again. What's
Yeah,
your name?
remember, we were friends 10, 12, like maybe 10 to 12 years prior to us ever talking. So it's nothing that she hasn't seen. The people at certain feelings, she's been around them. Like, I don't have to worry about that. So at my wedding, the ones that were there were ones that I'm like legitimately cool with. Like I don't do nothing with them no more. But we developed a friendship after that.
I do love that. Because I hate it when I got with a girl and she's like, so you just going to keep your ex's love letters? Like, yeah, she loved me at that time and I loved her too.
I ain't
What do you mean
getting
gonna-
love letters, but I get you.
Why not? What are you going to do with them? You going to throw them away? You going to burn them? Really?
I mean, I never had love letters.
But you got your ex at the wedding and you
from-
going to throw away a letter that's inanimate?
I mean,
Come on, son.
love letters, I don't know if I was old enough at that point in time. The last time I got a love letter, I might have been about 12 years old.
That's what I'm saying. So
Then
what
phones came out. You keeping letters from from
I
12?
kept everything.
see, I don't
I got
keep
trophies from when I was 4, 5, 6. Like I kept it all.
The pictures.
You keep the pictures, right? You keep the pictures, right? And the videos, because remember when we all had the videos? You kept all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. So why would you all of a sudden get rid of something? It sounded like you would get rid of something if she.
Well, I don't love the letters and stuff. I just don't care about stuff like that. Like I'm not sentimental like that. Like, ooh, this love letter.
You trying to poke at me or something?
I'm just saying that's just me. Like I don't care about that. Like if it's something I cared about, I'd probably keep it.
Terry, is that a red flag to have the exes at the wedding? Like your wife can't wear her white and look out in the crowd and see nothing but white?
Yeah, that.
Wait, before you answer
That's some stains.
before you answer
That's
that,
some stains.
I know where you're going. Go
let me
ahead.
say this.
Mentally, that ain't seeing all
if
white.
she felt like that, they wouldn't have been there.
But sometimes
not
you
worried about that.
Sometimes you can ask somebody something, and because you asked them, they feel like obligated to give the answer for the ask. You sure it wasn't that?
That's why she got.
Like,
That's why she got the ring.
Baby, can my mama come to this? And you like, baby, since you asked, yeah, but I ain't want your mama there. I wanted my time.
That's why she got the ring, because we were always real enough to have those type of conversations. If she don't like something, she gonna tell me straight up she don't like it. And if I don't like it, it's vice versa.
I get that.
So if I felt the slightest bit that she would feel uncomfortable with them being there,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have been there.
Okay.
There's people that I'm legitimately cool with that she's been around them before. Again, I've been around guys that were her exes. I didn't care.
At the wedding? At the wedding?
Yeah.
One of them was there.
One of them was there?
I was gonna ask.
Oh, what was his name? Dexter?
Dexter.
He's sitting there like, yeah, she do. She do it well. She the best. More rice. More rice. She don't like all that rice in her hair, homie.
See, if you got to worry about that, you shouldn't be there.
Right.
He walked up and cut her steak for her.
Everybody had your girl before. Somebody had your girl before you.
No, that ain't true. Somebody married a virgin. Somebody has. Not me. Maybe Eugene married young. He might have married a virgin. I don't want to get into that because I know your wife. Good Lord, I don't want to think about it. But
Eugene's wife may have
took the
married a
virginity.
virgin.
Nope.
Eugene never got no nookie. He didn't get no nookie.
Eugene
No
had a-
tingle. His first tingle was. He ain't said no yet, has he?
Nope.
Okay. The different cultures, though, man. Like, is there a different culture? Like, were you raised like you better wait? Was that religion? Was
It's
that
religion
culture?
for sure? Yeah, Baptist.
Oh,
The
yeah.
whole, like, yeah. I was like, Baptist upbringing. It's what is it? You know, thou shalt not. What is
Fornicate.
It? Fornicate right before marriage,
Damn,
kind of
did
thing.
you take
Yeah.
it serious?
I did. I was brainwashed for a
waited.
while. Yeah.
You did wait.
I waited for marriage. No.
Oh, okay.
No. I
So
can't
you're a
wait that long.
sinner. Yeah, you're a heathen.
I didn't get married till. How old was I? 30. Almost 30.
Oh,
There's
that's
no way
right,
I could have
y'all
waited
dated
that long. Yeah, we
forever.
dated for 10 years and then
Yeah.
got married.
Dated
yeah.
for 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years, 10 months, 10 days exactly.
10 years dating,
10 months, 10
and
days.
he a Baptist. Eugene black, dog. That's the blackest guy I met.
I ain't never met an Asian Baptist.
Dog.
Never in my life.
There were a ton of us that went to school called Faith Baptist in
yeah.
KNUCK Park. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
when I
Faith
was
or
young.
faith?
Faith. Faith Baptist.
The fake Baptist church. That's the best no ever.
Yeah, no.
He said he went to fake Baptist
I thought that's
school.
what he said. I really thought you said that.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Because all these schools, all these like religious schools out here are fake. Because I went to St. Monica. I'm not Catholic.
Campbell Hall.
Yeah, like you just up in there.
No, this one in the 90s was very, very religious to the point where I remember they would tell us evolution is not real, science is not real, everything's God. That's what I meant by a little bit of I can't say it's like that today, but that was, as a young child, that's what I remember, is that don't believe in science, don't believe in evolution. Everything is about God. To the point where if I was at the mall and they were playing Kenny G, I'd be putting my fingers in my ears, praying to the Lord, saying, please don't send me to hell. This is not Christian music.
Kenny G.
Yeah.
G's the safest.
Well, because the whole
He
point
has
is
no lyrics.
anything could be an
What, the saxophone said something?
anything could be a fake idol,
much
right?
sax.
Sound
Anything
like
that
sex.
takes
That's what I
over,
said. Too much sax.
anything that's more important than God is considered an idol, right?
Oh, good point.
In baptism, so that was the hard part. So,
So why'd you pick on Kenny G?
Yeah.
I mean, just if I was at
Sears
Snoop
is out, and you talking about Kenny G?
They're not playing Snoop at Sears or Broad.
They are now.
They are now, not in the 90s.
That was classic, so they'll play it.
He was going to the extreme.
Yeah, I'm going to the extreme. Yeah.
Going to the extreme.
I mean, my form of rebellion as a kid was I had it on Coast or K-Big.
I remember that.
You didn't rewind the tape at Blockbuster. Remember, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
Still on the block.
Please rewind.
Please,
I wasn't kind
man.
at all.
So was it all Asian? No. fake
No,
nothing.
it was a mix of everything. I mean, my parents sent me there specifically for Asian. Like my parents, it was there's a close-knit group of first-generation Korean parents that sent all their kids there. So my parents thought I would hang out with those kids. No, I found the one black kid, one Mexican, and those are my buddies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, my
okay.
first friends were, they were not the Korean kids.
So you've been going to the cookouts for a long time.
No, I went through my identity crisis. You know, I had my skater boy.
I was gonna say
I
Right,
knew
then
you were
high
skater.
school is the whole, what do they call it? The AZN.
Yeah.
Literally, that letters AZN phase where we all had frosted tips and
Yeah.
baggy pants.
You still got the flip. You ain't let that go.
No, but blonde down to my
Oh.
neck.
Oh, wow.
And then the belts that hung down to your knees.
We talking Karate Kiddish? No? No?
Daniel San.
Daniel. Like
This
we
was like late 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s.
It was, late 90s. You know, like the
That was
raver
That's
look?
like
that was
a
a big skater phase.
There's that
like
skater phase, but there's that kind of that raver phase.
Yeah, the
where,
rave crazy.
You know,
it's kind of like Seth Green and Ken Hardly Wade. Like that little
Yeah,
style.
yeah, that look,
That's,
yeah.
So you used to do drugs. Don't lie.
Not in high school. That wasn't until.
So yes, you did.
I mean, it's legal.
You went to rave.
legal drugs.
Nah.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I'm talking
Yes,
them rave
yes,
drugs.
yes.
Your ass done took some LCD. Was it LCD?
LCD. That's a big screen.
LSD.
Took some of that TV.
That's your TV about 10 years ago.
Oh, LSD. You took
No,
some
but the
of them.
pills.
Some
The
AM
pills.
PM.
No, but those are the best. That's how
You said you took some Wi-Fi, didn't you? Took some of that Wi-Fi.
VHS. 8-track.
I'm the Puritan. I didn't even know LSD.
Boy, stay away from Gene. He's on that OMW.
Oh shit! You took some real stuff then before, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I'm too
you
scared.
still here?
Him and Richie.
Oh yeah, I know Richie ass. Cocaine, crackhead.
I'm a control freak. I can't do all
Tootsie
that.
Boys.
Can't do all that.
Nah, I can barely do marijuana, but like.
No, but you had. So first time I did it, you're surrounded by people who have experienced it before, are veterans, so they know what to look out for. So the first time, they were they monitored some of us newbies to make sure, like, all right, he's dehydrated, or that was a big thing.
You
had
hung
to
out with a
stay
bunch of
hydrated.
doctors or something?
No,
I'm about to say I don't trust the homies.
Well,
No,
I don't trust my homeboys.
some
to be
Bay
like-
Area friends, cousins who were very experienced with it, and they made sure that we were loose, to play the right music, make sure our minds were in the right place. The girls were giving us massages and keeping us
Oh
loose.
shit!
There
Rush
it
Hour
is.
5.
There it is. There it
We
is.
filming something.
It was a memory. It was our trip before all of us had to split up for college, and so it was like one of those. Let's do it.
Was
It's
it
the
a
You
last time
weren't
we're gonna see
scared
each
to
other.
die? Like
Really?
yes.
No.
I've never done any other drug other than a little marijuana, just because I'm scared to die.
See, marijuana made me scared to die. That thing, I will pass out in 30 seconds with weed.
That's
My
good
body
sleep.
reacts to it. Just
That's a cousin to death, but it's good sleep. But them other ones, they be talking about, nah, you're in the alternate universe.
No, it's
your
not
reality.
alternate universe. No, it's more just
More
I don't know
what?
how to you just feel so good. You feel the music.
More than Kirkland? Kirkland take me there.
different.
It's different.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, here we go, crackhead. Let's go. Tell us why.
Mess with that stuff.
First
can't.
time I ever did mushrooms, I didn't know what to expect, and I was dating this girl who in Chicago who was from LA, and she was a big Grateful Dead fan.
White girl?
White girl.
Oh, yeah.
She was
Take us there.
She was a volleyball MVP of the Ivy League.
Oh, good skin.
And she was in law school. And
Oh, this is the best
she
slopes.
was in law school in Chicago.
Love her.
And she wanted to take me to a Grateful Dead concert, and we were going to do mushrooms. First of all, I didn't know anything about the Grateful Dead. I thought it was like hard rock, metal stuff. Mm-hmm. And I had never done mushrooms. So I took a piece of paper, wrote my name, my address, and my phone number, and I pinned it inside of my shirt.
That's a.
Sound like you
I
should have
respect
done
it though.
Sound
I
like you should have
respect
done it. Hey, in case I die, which I'm thinking about dying.
Right. And then we went and we did it, and it was the grooviest Grateful Dead.
She
is just-
changed your words. What?
Yeah,
Groovy
it was Grateful Dead is just a real groove kind of band.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's
It's
great.
funky, and it's groovy, and it's like folky.
That's who Bill Walton liked a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that gives you an
yeah,
idea
yeah.
what kind of music it
And
was.
mushrooms just kind of take your mind on a wavy trip, right? So if you can
No. Describe wavy trip. What does that mean?
So-
and
so
some of you
like-
got turned out. Do you get turned out? Because you've been dating sisters your whole life, and you went to concerts ain't did none of this shit. You date one white girl, talk about some Grateful Dead. Next thing you know, you're on wavy trips.
yes.
That must have been some.
sense.
Boy, that's
Yeah.
some good. That sense.
But Richie's right, because shrooms are legal in Vancouver. This is what I mean by legal drugs. Vancouver shrooms are legal. You go to a dispensary, you can buy any kind of shrooms you want. It's not legal in LA.
It's legal in the
do you
Bay
mean
Area.
legal?
The Bay
No, I'm
Area.
saying
It ain't legal
you said
then.
it's legal in Vancouver.
Vancouver in Canada, it's legal. Completely
I'm
legal.
saying, but you live in LA.
No, this is when I went up to
When he
Vancouver.
did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I'm saying like we flew up
Damn,
to
you talking
Vancouver
about
for that
yesterday,
reason.
motherfucker? I hope he ain't
No,
doing it.
for that reason.
He coaching.
And Richie's right. It is a more visual thing
Right.
where
It like heightens your senses.
and even the
So-
house we got was designed for that purpose because as soon as you're on something, you could tell. All right, the art's there for a reason. The floor designs are that way for a reason because you start seeing things too, and everyone sees something different, experiences something different. You got some
You're
guys.
seeing the same thing different?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
You see like different colors and
different
stuff.
colors.
And, like,
And you go through different stages.
You can hear the hood boys over here like, what? I ain't doing nothing.
It's really cool.
These bullets was enough to dodge.
No, and then you're talking to each other about what do you see? Oh, now I see that too. What do you see? And it's just a very, it's a bond thing.
Okay,
So it's
so,
like-
oh no, you
But
got
it sounds like y'all microdose.
Yeah,
A little bit.
No,
Because like,
no,
really?
it wasn't a microdose.
Okay.
For
Oh, it was a
Richie, maybe
macro
not.
dose? I never heard
It
of
was
macro dose. What's that?
It was a regular dose.
Okay. Because people use psilocybin to go like to find answers, to go on
Right.
trips. Yeah, medical reasons.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And it just depends on how much you take.
Right.
That determines how far your
Yeah.
trips go, or even if you get visuals, you have to take a certain amount. Microdose just kind of people will take a little bitty bit, and it takes the edge off of them for the
Right.
day, right? And they feel better. So they are prescribing it for people with depression,
Yeah.
people suicidal, even people coming off of chemical and alcoholic dependencies, because it'll even you out in small doses. But if you take more, that light may start going like this a little bit, or I may hear his voice out of a whole room full of noise. I may be able to hear one voice
Or no
or
voice.
no voice.
Yeah,
But you think it's a
get
voice.
floored.
Yeah.
Too much, you get floored.
Like
versus
at that
just
Grateful
an
Dead
enjoyable.
concert, I was
yeah.
all the way across the stadium, and I thought I was turning a light on and off. I would have bet money I was turning that light on and
Negro,
off.
you
With-
should
with my
never.
mind.
And did you go back to that place again? Like in your mind and that drug? Did you do that again after?
Yeah.
Oh, you like
Shrooms
that?
are cool. Yeah, it's cool. They're really cool, and they're natural. So as soon as you go to the bathroom, they're
Your
out your
stomach is
system.
turning like mine.
Right.
They're out your system.
Is it?
Is that
Huh?
Yeah, you get them in the smoke shops. Yeah. Oh, you can. And
Right now, you go to the smoke shop and get like microdosing, little chocolates, you know what I'm saying? And you get little shrooms and yeah, it's legal. Oh,
no, I didn't realize it's legalized in
is
Cali.
that what people go to Joshua Tree for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bingo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
is there something I can make a commonality between you two? What you think in your background made you roll this risk level or this exploration level? Like you guys are taking ventures when it comes to drugs and alcohol, right? That's not the normal reservation. Like I think everybody starts off, what beer is the safest? Then you get into hard liquor or maybe Bartles and James and all that in the middle. Then
Mad
it turned to hard
Dog
liquor.
2020.
Because I grew up judging people like you and him. Like y'all either were bored as hell or y'all had some money and then it's like, okay, your feet were a little off the ground, so you needed
It's cheaper than alcohol.
Oh, it ain't about that. It's about y'all weren't dealing with the dangers that hood dudes don't be doing no damn LSD and mushrooms because we done dealt with enough of the reality dangers to try and find some risky ones.
I don't know. Cats in the hood smoke sherm sticks.
They do. They smoke crack.
They do all kind of stuff.
They strung
but shrooms are pretty safe for the most part.
Yeah,
And
you
I
do
knew-
this.
And I
yeah.
knew that, and I knew a lot of people who did them. And I was an adult. I wasn't a kid.
Okay.
When I did that, I was already out of college and all of that. So it was.
It's not of affluence. It's not a like, oh, we got $5. Let's now try shroom.
No, it was
because
just,
weed is a broke drug, you know.
It was. I always wanted to try them just because I wanted to see the mind opening effects of it. You know what I mean? And explore my mental a little bit and all of that. And she assured me it was safe, and she was law review super smart. I was like, well, if she says it's okay, it's gonna be okay.
The whole, so the alcohol thing, right? Alcohol versus shrooms or weed. For my group of guy friends, it was more about, we got to a point where drinking was too much, where we couldn't do the hangovers anymore. We're picking each other because one guy passed out throwing a ball on the floor. Now it's game over, right? When it came to weed or shrooms, it was, that never happened. You don't have someone passing out. You don't wake up hungover the next day, and the whole day's ruined kind of situation. And then the science behind it too. There's more. I don't know about nowadays, but even when most of the guys converted to weed, you have DUIs. You know, people getting killed on the roads. I don't think that happens with weed. Right. And with shrooms especially, it's one of those things where it's more of a stay-at-home chill kind of thing versus going out and going to the club and, you know, nightlife. This is more just, it's us, the 10 of us hanging out and just. Yeah, you're not really opening up.
It doesn't ramp you up.
It's not a hype thing.
Aggressive. You're not getting crazy.
What are you getting? You're hallucinating.
You're just kind of in your own head, and you just kind of get into a safe. You do them when you're somewhere where you feel safe.
Very safe, yeah.
And where you're just gonna be there and just chill out. You'd be surprised how many people do shrooms now.
No, I know a few people in my real tight circle that do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would never do it.
I do think you said something where you touched on the point. I do think certain drugs are from affluence, and it's not always a financial thing. I think just certain drugs live in certain environments. So like shrooms might not be expensive, but I didn't hear anybody like growing up in like hood neighborhoods talking about shrooms, but they talk about weed. I feel like it's certain some would say you heard about crack in the hood, and then in the nicer neighborhoods it was cocaine, even though it can be derived from the same thing. So I do think it plays into where you're at, the type of people that surround you.
That's true.
Control the type of drugs people try.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she was a California girl. She was from Woodland Hills.
Yeah, I was about to say, all these private schools up here, all these kids that I work with or know their parents, they're dealing with the drug peer pressure problem. Like, what kind of car do you have? Oh, that's it. Or they all on some crazy drugs like y'all just said. But then you go to the hood, they ain't on them drugs. But then they doing some other stuff. They banging or they, you know, not doing well in school. And then it's like everyone has their ills. Everyone has the same ills. It's just a different expression. That's what I've come to notice because you can't escape it. So I would.
Yeah, but I don't want to get my words twisted. I know, Richie, if you do it all the time. I'm talking about this as, you know, our group of guys that get together once a year, twice a year, and pick a destination. And most of them are just stressed out from life, whether it's burnt out from kids, burnt out from work. And sometimes the shrooms help let that all out in a safe environment. I mean, you know, like if you see how tightly wound up I am, sometimes that helps.
Drink some
with
Hennessy.
just
it ain't helping that much. You get rewounded, motherfucker.
Hennessy is the remedy. The remedy is Hennessy.
Yeah. I'm about to say,
Drink some of that.
I will say this: like, there is such thing as a hero's dose when it comes to shrooms, and that's for people that use that for therapy. And you will go to a place in your head. Well, you will recall memories or sometimes traumatic experiences, and that you might not have known happened to you, or it'll bring a lot of shit up. So you have to repress. So you have to be in a safe environment because you will call some things up if you take the hero's dose. If you are looking
a large dose,
if you're looking for answers.
Aaron Rodgers level, like we talking.
I guess I don't know.
Right. And then what they do is they will take you there so you work through that traumatic experience, and then you can move forward from it, and it's not haunting you in the future.
Yeah, they got retreats
so like
for that.
People with PTSD will do it. They do it with a lot of soldiers now coming home from war with extreme PTSD, and it helps them work through that trauma.
What's wrong with people? What? Like Uncle Gloria? Like like what the hell are you talking about? Like I don't understand. I take a drug and then it's going to make me work through something that I'm already working through.
Well,
it makes sense.
they'll
It does
walk
make
you
sense.
through it.
Yeah.
Who's they? The drug?
No, there'll be somebody there'll be a therapist that will guide you through it.
But are they high too? How they know where I'm at?
Some of them are so wound up. Like, you ever been around somebody who has PTSD that was in the military?
No.
They are going through it. Like, they're wound up. So I'm gonna assume when they're doing that, it's to kind of get them to bring their levels down.
Okay.
To get away from some of that mental stress, so that they can kind of talk to them and get to a certain point. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's to figure out triggers. To figure out triggers you didn't even know you had. So why is this triggering me? Why am I always like this? And if you take that trip, you might find out what the genesis was of that trigger. And you can do that with ayahuasca too.
That's exactly what I said. They have ayahuasca retreats for that specific reason.
That's next level, I think.
And for either one of those trips, you wear Terry's pants.
Oh boy.
I was gonna save that for later. Because last week,
Nice, Richie.
last episode, I wore my jeans, the ones that had the thing on it. He was like,
You know what?
You weren't here when I already spoke on it a little earlier. I was like,
I know.
But
And then
boy.
But Terry said, man, I couldn't pull those off. And I said,
Good point. You can.
You can.
You
And then he
can.
comes wearing those.
I pull these off. Speaking of trips, I got these in Thailand where they do mushroom trips. Like they sell mushrooms on the
That's a good
beach
way
and they
to
do
tap
like
dance, right
mushroom.
Yeah, you saw that?
Oh
boy. Hey, Gregory,
That
stay
boy
still.
good.
We're going back on those pants. Fuck Thailand.
Get his pants. Yeah, go
The
ahead.
boy
go ahead. But I'm saying-
Badu's you got on.
But I'm saying you can buy like mushroom shakes and stuff.
What do you say? That boy good.
You got on some boy Badu's.
Nah, those is hammer pants.
I don't know what kind of weed I need to smoke and incense I need to light to appreciate those.
Everybody ain't got the style.
Eric Badu.
You say what, Eric?
Dog.
Eric Badu?
Eric Badu.
We certainly in the Andre 3000 lane. Are those pants?
These are our pants. I got these in Thailand.
you
And
do
I
this
think
one time?
I can't do the hammer pants.
Man, he look like the scarecrow in the eyes.
Terry was investigating ladyboys.
Oh, no. Time out.
I've seen that.
Unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, that's too much.
One episode you gonna
Unnecessary roughness.
Only saying that man sexuality.
one episode you get.
That was tough. Come on
Why
now.
do we always link sexuality to clothes too? That's kind of weird.
Well,
Like,
no, you got to sometimes.
no, why though? Have you ever wore heels?
No.
Have you ever wore a
my
dress?
point.
Have
That's
you-
my point.
Yes.
What kind of heels?
Yes, I've done
Like high-
Halloween costumes
You
and
wore
stuff.
high heels?
Yes.
Like ladies'
Like, what
high
did you go as for Halloween that you needed
I
here?
was a black. I was a Barbie. I was Barbie one year. It was the ugliest, nastiest,
No, you
blackest
weren't.
Barbie you ever seen. No, you weren't.
No, you
yes,
weren't.
I was.
You wasn't-
Yes, I was. I was a Barbie.
You wasn't Barbie.
You gotta always watch
Hey, barbarian.
There it is.
You gotta always watch these football players.
Good boy.
We comfortable.
It's always a little
We
something there.
comfortable.
Catch you slipping.
We see 53 dudes.
How
Like,
we know
whatever,
it
man.
goes on the bottom of the pile?
We know.
Hold on. See, y'all trying to clown somebody who just put on a costume versus y'all went through a mental hallucination?
I'm gonna
and
bring you
left
some
this-
shrooms next
I'll
episode.
take the shrooms over them heels.
I'm gonna bring you some
No
shrooms.
way.
I'm taking
Not
shrooms
even
over walking
close.
around in high heels.
Hell no.
Any day of the week.
What?
I'll live with my
You
fate
wouldn't
with
wear a
the shrooms.
costume that made you look feminine or like that?
No.
You wouldn't? Why? No, I don't understand. No, link it to your. Is it about your sexuality for real?
What, clothes?
yeah.
You talking about me specifically?
No, him. You. Yes, I'm talking about him. I'm talking like, why did we get preoccupied? I could put on anything. Don't mean it's changing who I am. I mean, for
That's
real.
true.
And that's why there's so many dudes like Atlanta. Them cats be dressing harder than us. And then they be going, he man, like, so it's like, why y'all linking clothes to that?
I don't know what any of that meant.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know. No, I just be tripping.
Somebody got it.
Like you be hanging somebody be like, oh man, look at that fool. He look gay. Like you be like, dog, why you?
Yeah, no.
And it's literally just because it was.
Chances are, if he's wearing high heels, he is.
Well, of course, that. But
So
if
the
he in
clothes,
costume,
it connects.
But if you are not gay and you put on a gay like costume,
If
you're
it's-
not gay because
if
you
it's
got it on.
Halloween, I say you get a pass.
Well, it was Halloween.
Right,
But,
that's why
but
we
if I
gave
do
you a
it
pass.
tomorrow, I won't get a pass.
No.
Why?
If you come down here wearing high
How,
heels
Sway?
on this next episode, that's gonna be the last time you see me.
I don't understand this.
Come down with some
38,
heels
I'm like, it was fun.
and a sundress.
We had a good time.
38 It's enough, man.
So, all right, flip it. What if you came down here in like a football outfit or UFC uniform? Like, you ain't harder, you right? So why is it always I get softer when I put on something, but you ain't getting harder? You
I'll
the same.
take that image over the other one.
Well, maybe not harder, softer, but on your list of who do I want to dress up as, I mean, it's not a female for me. It's
High heels,
an
it's not on
athlete,
my
or
whiteboard.
It's pretty low on the totem pole, to be honest.
Yeah, I like female and I like weird stuff because it's Halloween. Like, it's like, if we gonna go there, we gonna go there. Like, I'm Buzz Lightyear, you know, all that.
See,
But
you
Halloween
need
is cool. You said, what if I came down here then?
No, but this is my trippy thought. So without mushrooms, this is how I think. So I'm walking around, I'm like, all right, these people are all in costume. Everybody's trying to act different, be different. Why does it have to be October 31st? Why it can't be November 1st? And then even if they are, why am I sitting here thinking I really learned something about somebody because they just threw on some outfit? You know how it is to put on an outfit? Nothing, meaningless, disconnected from all reality.
Do you buy a Christmas tree in June?
No, but I keep it up to June if my wife will let me.
But you don't buy it. You buy it
Actually,
for Christmas.
I got a
for
fake one.
specific time
I
of
got a
year.
fake one that is year round, so I'm a bad example.
I mean, I do like a good costume party, like, and it don't have to be on Halloween. It can be in June.
It could be today. Look at you,
costume party.
Look at
Yeah.
you right now.
in costume.
set yourself up, Terry.
Pirates of the Caribbean, and he got on some chucks with it. Like he just said, "Fuck it."
And see, I actually admire the fact that you wear that because first of all, it looks good on you.
Thank
You're
you, sir.
tall and you're lean and you have long legs.
I don't know
and-
where this is
Whoa.
going. Whoa, what the hell, Richie?
You wearing heels?
No, but
He's like his butt crack. What you say?
he can wear.
High cheekbones.
I think we caught it when you said.
Yeah,
it
we
looks
caught
good
the
on
first
you.
part.
He said he
You
tall.
could have stopped there.
long.
Long legs.
I appreciate it,
You
bitch.
got
I appreciate
muscles.
it. You say,
Put some baby oil on, Terry.
Yeah, get that button a little low. I mean, one more. I'm just saying, like, if I had to go in this room,
And Richie, I was gonna say, was it always that low?
As he was talking to Terry.
I'm just saying this button is heterosexual, and this button is.
I can't
Fluid.
talk. I
It's
can't even
fluid.
talk because I'm usually with my. You know how I go out.
That's your MO though.
yeah.
Richie over here flirting.
I can't talk.
Hey, he got this tennis racket just hanging and dangling. He like love.
I'll be on.
Richie, let me find out. Richie, let me find out. Let me find out on one of the mushroom trips. You went the other side.
No.
Yeah, it happens. Don't act like that room full of guys. Hold on, how y'all describe this shit? Oh, it's a safe space with all your boys, and then we get
I didn't
into
say with all your boys.
we let go.
I did.
So we all can let go.
So we can let go. Let go of what?
I twisted my words.
What we letting go of? You
The
grab
only,
something?
only boys,
Hand in my pocket.
the only boys you're talking to are the ones that are in your head, for real. You ain't gonna
Really?
be sitting there doing all that talking.
No, that's right.
you ain't gonna be
This
doing all that
sounds
yapping.
amazing to me.
Like,
you would love it.
Yeah, you would love it.
Like seriously, knowing your personality.
Nah.
Yes, you would.
Because there wouldn't be any discovery.
Yes, no,
I know
because-
everybody who touched me when I was little.
Because you're my.
All right, no. I let that shit go a long time ago. Well, why not?
No, it's a different part of your brain. You're gonna tap a different part
Yeah,
of your brain.
right.
you've
I
never
know my
used.
brain. I'm not like y'all.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
No, you don't.
how you know I don't know my brain? Go.
Doesn't science say we don't use all
is
of our brain?
science?
Science? No,
Who
we
is
don't
that?
use.
Says we only use 10%.
Yeah.
Yep.
At most.
Yeah.
So there's 90 you don't know.
You saying the drugs gonna take me to the other 90?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Or tap into that other 90.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
man.
And if you tap into another
Should-
1%,
All
that's
right.
a lot.
Most of this world is what? Water, right? Should boats be on land? No. You shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be the other 90.
gotta bring it home.
God made it that way for a reason. Stay away from the other 90. He said 10 commandments. You can do whatever else you want. Leave these 10. You motherfuckers try to mess with the 10. You did. Y'all tripping. Y'all playing with God. Y'all playing with fire. Hell no.
I'll tell you.
Huh?
I'll tell you the crazy. Because I've done it before too. The crazy part is like.
now you
He was tucking that away.
No, Terry said
Terry
earlier. Terry said earlier.
Back to it.
I said it
Let
earlier.
us take fire the whole time.
Well, yeah, whatever. But I'm saying like once you if you go to like a level 4, you'll get to like the level. You'll see the door to level 6 and 7, but you can't get there, and then you'll fade back in. Like you'll be sober again, and that's why people keep going because they know they can go to another level with it. Wow. And discover stuff.
Let me.
You've never wondered what else is in your brain and
I know
what
what's
you're
in there.
really capable of.
Yeah, I've accomplished it. What you mean? You think there's another world that I'm better in? No, this one I'm the best I got. No, I know all the shit I did bad, ugly. I know what's in my closet. I know what people have done to me. Like once I got conscious thought, I remember everything, but I don't remember before like 6 or 7.
I mean,
so
I
probably got
have
touched.
like a background of trauma or anything, but I always wonder where my brain can go and what I can where I can take my own brain and
Were you taking your brain or were your brain taking you? What do you mean?
Yeah, same
Okay,
difference.
okay.
It's part of me, so we go together.
But where did you go that you never thought you could go or you never been? Or if it's not with you, just somebody. Because this sounds like you just were oblivious to the obvious. Like, did you go somewhere you're like, what? This happened? Or no?
Well,
It can't. No.
It's really hard to describe.
I mean, it didn't happen.
No, it does, but
It's okay.
it's hard to describe because you have to know what it feels like. So it's all kinds of levels to it. Like Terry said, there's different levels to it.
Triple OG over here said,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Was that you?
It's
Like,
not necessarily. Sometimes it's not a cerebral thing. I'd say the furthest I went, it's the craziest body experience I ever had, is that I thought I literally saw my own body from high up.
You thought you were levitating?
I could see my own body and the guys I was around from up there. I saw myself.
So you had the vantage point of being up there?
So sometimes it's just that out-of-body experience that is just something you can never achieve with. I never achieved it with weed or alcohol. It was more of a social thing. This one's more on your own. You're not, to Richie's point, you're not having these deep conversations. Some guys will. For me, it was just, wow. I didn't realize you could have these sort of experiences that just no one could have explained or no one could have prepped me for that. That was just, it happened.
You know how they say like sounds have colors and
Yeah.
you know, living things have auras and
Yeah.
that's how you
Like Outcast.
Right, exactly. And that's how you see it. That's how you get to visualize those colors and those
Man, I seen that on
auras.
Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo used to have them.
Because they were high.
Because Scooby and Shaggy were high.
They
as
were
hell.
Shaggy was certainly high.
That's a great way to describe it, Rich. That's a great way.
Y'all need to get y'all marketing plan together, dog. Y'all ain't sold me yet, and I want to be sold. And I ain't gonna do it, but I just want to be sold.
You saying that
Like-
though, so I agree with you.
Like looking at myself, that ain't. I go in the mirror, motherfucker. Like I don't need no drugs.
No,
Get high up on the counter and look down.
don't go in the mirror.
Kenny Man. Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. Only two.
I agree with you. I'm one. I don't want to try none of that stuff either.
Yeah.
But
Uh-oh.
the flip side of that is it reminds me of the whole Thailand travel conversation because you stuck in your way. Now you're never too old to learn new things. Here's 3 people who all have tried something. 4 who've all tried something and said that this took their mind to a different space, and you say you tried weed and alcohol and didn't do it, and you're like, oh, I know my mind. They know their mind too, but they're saying, hey, if you do this, it takes you to a different place that maybe you need to experience. Now again, I agree. I probably wouldn't try it, but you can't be so stuck on I know my mind. I don't need to do
Well,
that.
I can't. And then when I asked him, when I pressed him, what's different? He told me he just saw himself high.
Of course you can say that.
No, I
I'm
mean,
saying,
but
you
even
just-
that.
there maybe there's another world out there or something else going that would take your mind to another place and you're not even aware of it.
But it doesn't.
4 people.
Okay,
that's
but
saying that
nobody's get. All right, press all of them and give me one example that's worth it. Go.
Well, I'm not the one doing it.
No,
I'm just giving you another side. I'm
You're
just giving
using them for that example to bring it back to our travel, which I won that conversation. You said
you didn't.
Yes, I did. Nope.
We have proof.
Yep.
So
Yep.
the raving
Yep.
days, it was about, I don't think I really appreciated music until I went to a rave. These are the days when it was just at a random warehouse. It wasn't these big, they weren't these big, what do you call it? It was pre-Monster, what do they call it? EDC days? And
Oh, yeah,
what they have
love
now? No,
EDC.
this is way back when.
Yeah, glow sticks.
Yeah, those days, the Terry Crews days.
yeah. Let's go.
No, but that was the first time. Yeah, I'm thinking about that one scene where he's got the glow sticks. But no, that's where you felt the music through your body, and you had they would throw these giant rubber balls around, and the vibrations you would hold that ball, you could feel the music going through your body, and you experienced it in a different way, and that was what it was. Just that, again, it's one of those out of body experiences where you feel the music along with hearing the music to the point where at night I could, you know, I could hear it in my head or come up with my own beats in my head or my own rhythm in my head. Not drug induced, but just from those.
You can't do that without drugs?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
without
yeah.
the drugs now, just having been to, you know, EDC, Monster Massive, those different raves way back in the day, got a different appreciation for electronic music.
Let me give this to you this way. Because I broke up with a girl we went to Coachella together. She's famous actually too, so I'm never going to say who. And I go, and, you know, Coachella pictures is 2,000 people in it, so you ain't gonna know we ain't like one-on-one it, but we went together. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so pumped for this trip. And I was like, yeah, me too. Because I was looking at the acts. And she was like, no, I'm about to go do some shrooms and whatever ones. Molly. This is like when Molly was coming out or at least hitting the scene. It's like 06 or 07, I think, something like that. I don't know. So then I'm like, oh, okay, you going there. So immediately I'm judging her, you know. I'm in my head, I'm like, this girl, she fucking crazy. But she's super smart and all that stuff. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Then we're there. And this is the first time I walk into, so Coachella, everybody been? No? Yes, no? You ain't been to Coachella? Oh my shit, y'all done did mushrooms and they did the Coachella.
You can't wear them pants and not go to Coachella.
They give you those when you get off the shuttle.
But you know what though?
You get Coachella pants like that. Me and Rick James.
They hate what they ain't. They hate what they
Wow.
ain't.
Have you been? Have you?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
y'all taking no wonder y'all got to go out of your body because your body ain't been nowhere. Damn Coachella. What? This is why I don't travel because I've done this kind of. You been to Coachella?
Yeah, I've been to Coachella.
You been? No.
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Multiple times, yeah.
Okay, New Yorker. I
It
see.
got too big.
Huh?
Coachella got too big and too mainstream.
Oh, well, I mean,
been like that for
that's
years.
kind. I don't. Yeah, I don't know about that. It could be. I'm just going. If it's a good act, I'm going. I'm gonna fight through it. And then if it ain't, I'm not. You know. But yeah, it's gigantic. Anyway, we there, and she's like, okay, if we waiting on the main act, or like one of the main acts, and she's like, oh, I'm doing these. I'm on my stuff. Come meet me here. I'm in this tent, and you know it's nothing but tents, and they just get smaller or bigger based on that. And I go into my first EDC experience. It was sick. So I walk in, this, and then nobody looked like me. It's all these like Euro people, and they're just glow sticking. And not lying, I'm judging this room. I'm like, this is the drug room. This is like Austin Powers room. I was like, I need to get up out of here. Like, you know, I ain't trying to lose my way. And then the DJ did this. He was like, when I get that feeling, I want sexual healing, and and I never in my life heard that form of music. And then he just kept going through all these R&B and rap songs, but cutting them up EDM style. I was like, what the fuck? So then she comes up to me like this. She's like, oh my God. I'm just like, she's just tripping out, right? And she was bringing my high down because I'm on my drink. You know what I'm saying? She's bringing me down because I'm like, this shit is amazing. My whole point of this was she was in a zone that she put all that stuff into her to go like this. But all it took for me was, damn, that's dope. That's a unique experience. So I think I'm cut different.
No, because
I don't need to see the colors. I already see
but
music.
you hydrate. You hydrate so you can be in a certain mode. It's the same.
Yeah,
it's the same.
that's my
exact
choice.
thing.
That's true.
It's not the same exact thing. You
Sure
just
it
told me
is.
it's not.
No, I'm saying it's
I
not
will
the
give-
same experience, but it's the same purpose. It's the same. It's the same idea. You want to
We're
be.
not-
in a, you
we're
wanna
not
be in a
arguing
cer-
the purpose.
You want to be in a certain mode when you hydrate, right? You want to feel
No.
a certain way.
No, because that's leading to alcoholism. I'm not trying
What's the purpose? Why do you?
Because my
hydrate?
mama did it and I do it.
You hydrate because your mama hydrated? No, you hydrate because
No,
you
it
like
means
to,
adult
you like
to me.
hang out. And
No,
hydrate.
because I'm not hydrating right now. I haven't hydrated in a couple weeks.
I understand that. Well, yes, you have.
When was that?
You were hydrating
When were you?
in the hot tub last weekend.
Okay, I thought that was 2 weeks ago. You're right.
You weren't hydrating Saturday?
What was Saturday?
The party.
Which party?
Moral of the
Oh
story.
yeah, all right, that's too. All right, here we go. Keep going. Maybe I needed a mushroom. I'm forgetting shit. I'm drunk.
You didn't hydrate on Father's Day at all?
What's Father's Day?
Sunday.
What do we do?
Hydrate.
See?
Hey, check his drink now.
That's three.
Check it now. Check
All
it now.
right. We still got 11 days. I'm 3 of 14.
Yeah, but
You
that
said it
was.
so confidently too. I haven't hydrated in weeks.
Right. I'm like, damn.
It was days.
I was lit last night.
Hours.
Shit.
It was
Oh,
hours.
that's 4. But hold on.
But what do you mean? But hold on. You hydrate so you can feel a certain way while you're hydrating. It's exactly the same.
I actually don't
it's
do
the
it for
same
that reason.
rationale.
That's why it's not memorable. I don't get, like, if I took a mushroom, I'm a know.
Yeah.
I think you know too. Like, that's an event. It sounds like, it's like a different on the calendar. My shit, I forgot I just had drinks 4 days. These 4 days.
Well, see,
but that's not
here's
good.
the difference. Alcohol will make you forget.
Yeah.
Alcohol is the wildest.
Yeah.
Alcohol
Everyone
is the
says
wildest
that.
You
drug.
forget everything.
of-
Everyone
of
says
all.
that.
Alcohol affects every cell in your body.
Ooh,
Other
That's why
drugs
it's the
don't.
worst.
that's
See,
not
alcohol
good.
is the worst.
That's what they say. I know.
Heroin is easier on your cellular structure than alcohol is.
Well, damn. So you saying get on the
No, I wouldn't say get on. No.
give me some of that
No, but you know but that's factual.
No, I agree.
So-
Oh, I'm not saying all my choices are good. I'm just saying I live with my choices. I'm scared of all that shit y'all
No,
talking
but
about.
you
'cause
have
I'm
a point
die.
about music. Like I can say now, if I listen to the same artists from back in the raver days, I can get to that same mind state without the drugs.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
music
yeah,
will
yeah.
put me there automatically.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
That's how good it is. I can, just without drugs, feel it.
Sure.
It should,
And I'll say this just for you: Molly and mushrooms are not the same thing.
they're not.
They're
the
not the same thing. So you can't.
Oh, really?
No, I don't want you to
What's
lump
Molly?
them.
What's the difference?
I've never done Molly, but Molly's more like
First
it's
of
an
all,
upper.
Molly is chemical.
yeah.
Mushrooms are
natural.
natural.
What about ecstasy?
That's the same
Molly
thing
and
as Molly.
ecstasy.
Molly
Yeah.
ecstasy the same?
Basically the same.
It's just the
thing.
amount of speed that goes into it, like whether it speeds in it or not.
Speed?
There used to be a drug
Yeah.
called speed.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, but
There
it,
still is a drug called.
I ain't heard
I
speed
haven't
in
heard
a
nobody
minute.
say that.
But ecstasy, the problem with ecstasy back in the day, when it first was introduced, it was laced with all this bad shit. It could, give you a bad high. That was a problem back in the early 2000s.
We scared our kids gonna be doing this?
Well, it wasn't fentanyl the new, or for a while that was the big problem.
Boy.
That's scary.
That's what
That's
you-
scary.
Boy.
That is scary.
You talking about Russian roulette?
Yeah, for real.
Trying to say I'm in a safe space, I'm experimenting, and them cartels is out here not playing games and playing games.
Right.
They lacing it for real.
Yeah.
Like and they say it takes this much and you ghost.
Gone.
And I don't trust any of that product line, like that distribution manufacturing line from wherever, Mexico, Canada, wherever they say this shit coming from. I don't trust none of that.
No.
So, but our kids could be in high school and just around that little group that's like, yo, we're good. We've done it.
I used to send,
Night-night.
I used to send my daughters and my niece articles every time somebody died from it. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't play around. You can't play around. You can't even try this shit once.
But what is this shit?
It's typically cocaine that has it in it.
Like snorting?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is this, 1981? Like who in the fuck is still?
Oh, a ton of
Every day.
Okay.
What?
That's a
Just
Wall
seen-
Street
seen
thing.
Jordan's
They're-
son was just doing it. Remember we talked about
Oh,
it?
that's
Came
true.
in and talked
That's
about
true.
it? Right at a
Shit.
table at a restaurant,
Right.
broad daylight.
Dog,
Stephon Diggs just had a bag of pink cocaine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cocaine had been back.
Were y'all like this? Did y'all have anything about y'all? I literally, when I was growing up, especially when Len Bias died and all that, I was like, dog, if you ever, I told anybody who would get close enough to me to hang, I was like, if you ever offer me drugs, I'm never fucking with you again. And I wouldn't talk to you anymore. And for real, because I'm like, you trying to jeopardize my life and my future by just being like, let's kick it and let's hang. So is there anything that you're like, you were just like, no way? Was there a taboo level?
Cocaine was the taboo.
Cocaine?
level. Yeah.
Cocaine?
Yeah.
But you did
And
cocaine.
once, and I was well as an adult.
Oh.
But as a kid, we saw the grade levels above us make mistakes,
Yes.
and we really paid attention to that. And we
Yeah.
were like, no, we're not gonna be like that.
Yeah, I got a crackhead uncle who was my favorite uncle. And then he was so nice. And then, I'm too young to know why, but I'm like, yo, he acting different. And he looking different. And then grandma and them complaining every time I come in, they talking different. Next thing you know, she's saying he stole stuff. And then he just disappeared. Like physically there, but just lost 100, 200 pounds, cracked out. Then he ended up getting into a fight with somebody. That person came back and hit him in the head and killed him. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like young. And then I got older and it was like, what the fuck? And it all started with somebody or him was like, let's try this. And you try it, all right, it's going to try you.
Yeah, but limb bias was
bias.
definitely a deterrent.
Yeah, that scared me too.
That
And
Disney.
I was 8 years old.
Yeah. I was like, one time they said.
Yeah, that lasted me, well into adulthood.
We were Lynn Bias happened. I think I was a freshman in college or going into college. Yeah, I went to college in '85. So.
Yeah, it's 86.
He was amazing, and then gone. Yeah, I miss hoping. There's only a few things I really wish for my kids, and then one is don't try drugs.
And the thing is, you can't just say don't try drugs. That's why I would send them the articles.
The articles, huh?
Say so, because it's kind of hypocritical to just say don't go trying stuff. Because I tried different things.
Well, not me.
But
I ain't trying.
I didn't either. And you just can't take that risk now. It's a different.
Hell no,
it's a different
die.
day.
Ooh, I would. Ooh.
I don't know if y'all remember, there was a party in Venice, and a whole bunch of people there ordered some cocaine, and 4 people at the party died.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't just order from someone you don't know or buy from someone
We
you
don't know if they ordered from somebody they don't
But
know.
even if you know them, do what you know. See, that's where I always hear this, and I just be like, man, for what? Like, buy E&J. You know where E&J is from?
No. No.
That bottle right there, Tito. You know where Tito is? Tito got you. You ain't gonna die off of
That's the
Tito.
homie.
So I wonder if we have different. Well, I don't know if your kids have any allergies, but I'm less worried about, drugs, alcohol can do to my son versus will drugs or alcohol make him not worry about his severe peanut allergy where he does something stupid and that's what kills him. That's actually what our doctors have told us. No, you can laugh, but what? So
what?
No, I'm serious. I'm
I'm gonna
serious.
go crack, and you talk about, you better eat the peanuts.
No, because peanuts will actually
shroom
kill
right
him
now.
with one sandwich, one spoonful of peanut butter will actually kill him.
That's valid.
Right? That's a known
I have a
concern.
severe peanut allergy.
Yeah.
At no point ever in drinking did I question eating that.
No, I'm
Like,
just
I
saying,
knew.
like,
Like,
he
I
might
just
just
knew.
grab something to eat because he's hungry without realizing it's.
But when you have a severe peanut allergy, you know you'll die if you eat that. So it's so embedded in your brain.
That's what I'm
that you're
hoping
not
will
gonna-
deeper
happen.
than
That's what
your-
I'm hoping
You're not
will
going to make
happen.
that mistake even under an influence of something because
You don't think as a teenager, when you're the most, easily peer pressured to do things.
I mean, yeah, but you're aware enough to not kill yourself.
You're aware when you're sober.
When they say
No,
you can't
I'm
drown
saying-
yourself,
right.
I think that peanut butter look like some
Yeah,
water. I ain't drowning myself.
That's
Well,
a-
you
that's a
saw my
perfect example.
5-year-old, right? He almost drowned because he was too stubborn to let go of his water pistol. And basically said, I would rather drown
Yeah.
than let go of this water pistol. And he does swim lessons. We talked to his instructor about that. Why would he hold on to that pistol instead of saving his own life? And she said, we're going to enact that. So we're going to throw toys in the water. We're going to try to figure out what's causing that. I will fight to the death and drown just to hold on to this toy.
See,
But that's
all
also
right.
a 5-year-old compared to we talking
Yeah.
about drinking. Like
Yeah.
5-year-old, that water pistol is probably the most important thing in his life at that moment to him. Like he don't want to let it go. When you get to the age where you're old enough to drink, you're in a completely different mindset, a more mature mindset to know
More
the difference.
understanding.
Yeah.
And to be fair to the 5-year-old little man, that's not an exact way to describe it because I actually saw it happen. I was sitting next to the lifeguard, and he had his water pistol. Everybody, these water pistols, boy, they could have
fighting
sold
for
them
them.
for $1 million. These kids, I think it was like, 50 kids there or whatever, and they only had like 10 water pistols. So if you had one, you strapped up. You ain't letting it go.
He was committed. He was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all
he
right.
was committed. So then he had it, he get in the water, and he's like, okay. And then, when you hold the water pistol, this ain't a fin no more. This ain't helping. So he like just there. He didn't hit that moment of truth. And drowning, we're not talking about him now. There's a moment of truth where you're like, yo, if he would have hit that moment, I think he would probably have had to let it go.
Oh, you think
Instincts
so?
take
Okay.
Yeah, he was struggling way more than he should have
Okay.
with an item in his hand. Like, let the item go and you'll be fine. But he was like, nah, I think I can do both. So he was still in that phase,
Figure it out.
trying to figure it out. And then the lifeguard was like,
He not figuring
he
it
was
out.
honking, and then this guy stood up because he didn't see it all, and he was like, phew. You got to be safer than sorry.
Heck yeah.
But I don't.
You don't
I think he's fine.
Yeah,
I don't think he was gonna go down with it. He was like, "Daddy, I love you."
No, but he has that personality. He has that personality.
Oh,
Well, he will.
Yeah,
but
he'll lock in.
You can't drown yourself because your instincts take over.
Oh yeah.
I
He
would
would've
hope
spazzed
so.
out.
I would
And
hope
you,
so.
You fight for
freaking
life.
out. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You ever been like choked? Like you ever been wrestling with your boy? I've been at the bottom of a pile before and got caught with the football. You know how football is, and the oblong part right here. So I'm out of breath. I got my breath knocked out, and then it's like, it's like 11 people on you, and then you know how it is on them fumble recoveries. It takes forever, and the referee be doing this. He jumping on. He like move, and I'm like,
Gasping.
and then I'm like, dog. There's nothing worse than when you can't breathe and you want a breath. Yeah. You're like, fuck. You ever been there? Any?
In the pool.
Yep.
Oh, in the pool, you almost drowned?
I was just talking to my wife about this yesterday. When I learned how to swim, it was at the Y in New York, and they had a 15-foot pool. And I might have been like 7, 8 years old.
That's deep.
But when they teach you at that particular place, when they were teaching you, you had to, part of your testing was you had to swim to the bottom of the floor, lay on the floor, and then swim back up.
Woo.
Like
That
that's how
sounds
they.
like some SEAL team shit.
I'm about to say, to get down there, boy, that's some work.
That's how they teach you, and still swim today because of that. But what happens is, remember, you're 15 feet deep. So by the time I probably got to about 7 or 8 feet, I like ran out of air.
You ran out.
So they part of them teaching you in that depth of water is for you to get breath control, to learn how to conserve your air and know how to use it in situations like that. So I probably got to about 7, 8 feet, and then I can see the top, but the air was gone, and I was just like.
7, 8 feet is a mile at that point.
And they try to teach you to still keep your form, folks still get there, but at the same time, you're like freaking out.
Yeah, fuck that.
So you're like,
I'm trying to get
but
there.
the more you panic, the longer it takes to get there.
Yeah.
So
So did you get there? Let me stop.
I
Did
got
you make
there,
it?
but I definitely was laid out on the side for a little bit, just like thinking, like, man, it was almost over.
Did I ever tell y'all the time I got a concussion swimming? All right,
Get a concussion.
dog. That's why I be letting my son go get it. But I be like, I try to make him stay safe. But I know he built like he got me in him. So that means this generation doesn't jump off roofs and all that crazy stuff we used to do, right? So since they're not doing that, they gonna do much more like misfit shit, right? I'm giving him his tokens. He's gonna act the fool when he gets out. I can see it. Man, we went to a track meet in Oregon. Tripp was there. We go to Oregon. Big track meet. It's the International Classic at Eugene in Oregon, at University of Oregon. And so you pull up, it's the best experience. We 8, 9 years old. We from LA. We wearing our little travel sweatsuits. And it's all these teams from around the country, around the world, because it's the International Classic. So we like, damn. So we checked in the Holiday Inn. I remember this like yesterday, dog. We in the Holiday Inn. I'm like, we ready. And I'm like, I'm a dude. If you know track, you know 8-year-olds. You like, yo, that's a little Wiley right there. Yeah, all right. So I'm walking around here, cool. And nobody was around playing pool. So I go into the arcade. Nobody in the arcade. I'm like, where everybody at? They in the pool. Now, I ain't been in the pool like ever. But I think one time at my auntie house, and I was putting my feet in. I never been in the pool. So I'm like, oh. So then I'm not lying, dog. I see all these white kids flipping, doing all these cannonballs. They just getting it. And I'm sitting in my little hood ass like, damn, I'm about to get some of this. I'm more athletic than them, right? So I said, my turn. They were doing it in 8 feet. Oh, no. I never knew that the number on the side of the pool meant anything. I didn't know that 3 was 3 feet. Yeah, I did the craziest flip in the world. I went, night-night. And then the only thing I remember is I saw a flash of my hair floating. Yo, I really not. Oh, yeah. And then I was in the hotel bed like this, and my coach, Coach Moore, he was like, boy, you are not running. You came up here he was just yelling at me. He was like, you came up here for nothing. I guess I already woke up before and got the nice treatment before, because now it was ass whooping time. He was just mad. He's like, you're not on the relay. You can't do anything. I just went up there, and the whole trip was over. and I had a big patch of my hair
Did
gone.
you see the white light?
Oh, yeah, I was knocked out.
I saw the white light one time. Fell off a bunk bed. I was at my friend's house, so I was at the top. I don't know what I was doing, but I just remember falling off, or I felt like I was falling off, and then I just saw that white flash, and I don't remember nothing that happened after that.
Were you asleep before?
No, we were like playing, and I don't know what I was doing.
His ass just fell asleep in the middle of playing.
No, I think I might have been trying to jump down. I don't remember.
He's lucky.
I was a kid.
He's lucky ain't no
This was last night.
This just happened. This just happened.
That white light. It's the only time I ever saw the white light.
Dog, have you ever
Every time I hear somebody say the white light, I know exactly what they talking about.
Yeah, I've blacked
You
out.
lucky you
mentally.
didn't paralyze
Yeah,
yourself.
for real.
Oh, good call. I never in my life thought about that until this moment.
Yeah.
I was just like,
People,
all right.
people get severe spinal cord injuries doing that.
Damn.
I mean, you're not part of your afro off. That's a big fall.
It's still never
Big fall. That's a hard fall.
Dog, I mean,
I jumped
Plus
off
the
a
damage to
diving
the
board.
pool floor.
they suckered.
Right.
They suckered me.
I feel like I almost had one of those. One time I jumped off a diving board, and it was like super high. And I remember jumping off, swam down. I took my time. I was just playing around, whatever. And I came back, but everybody was just like this. And I was just wondering what was going on. And they said that when I jumped off, my head was like,
you
like
almost hit that
a
thing.
quarter of an inch from the
wall.
From the
edge.
wow.
So everybody thought that I actually hit my head on it, and that's why I was down there so long. But I actually didn't. That was just me down there like playing around.
Dog, them
I just
high
met everybody staring at me, and I'm like,
Dog.
what's going on here?
I did a high dive like that, and like roller coasters, you can be on the ground and look like, oh, that ain't that bad, and then you get up there, you're like, shit.
Get the girl like this.
Hammer pants.
I got
Start shaking.
Man, I got suckered into some you know when Sports Nation was on, we used to do all these kind of adventures and like silly shit.
Oh, they talking shit. What
Hold
happened?
on, what happened? What happened? Let me get it.
They talking shit.
You're like Willy Wonka over there, motherfucker. You about to make magic. You about to make some magic go.
They hate on the
But
pants.
Auntie's gonna start flying around.
I keep thinking I dream of Genie.
I said, when do I get my 3 wishes, Terry?
Now, when you did this,
Dog, when you did that,
You felt the wind coming.
Leroy.
That's hilarious. I keep setting myself up today. They keep happening. But it's all good though.
Some hobos. I
Yeah,
like it.
I mean,
I like
listen.
it. Oh, all right. So
Sports Station.
Yeah, we were doing that. So I was always the adventure guy. Like, all right, we're going to go out there. Oh, let Marcellus do it. Ride the bull and all that stuff. Silly stuff like that. We had to do a high dive with Greg Louganis.
Hell no.
And so we getting up there. First of all, he hilarious. Now, you talking about wearing, like, he there. Them heels. He all in. And I was like, damn, Greg. I was like, I don't remember that from growing up. He like a little tiny mic, too. He's like, hey, Marcellus, how's it going? Right? And I'm like, dog, you diving from there? And he's like, yeah, come on up. So, you know, at the real, like the Olympic pools, it ain't just one walk. It's like,
levels.
We got the level 1. I said, Nee, if you don't stop climbing, this is my level. And he was like, oh, no, we're going to the top. And the camera's rolling and stuff. And I'm like, I'm about to punk out. I'm not going up there, and I'm certainly not diving into it. He's like, come on, let's just go. And then he's like, I get to the top. I said, seriously, how do you do this? Like, what's the way to get down? And he's like, you gotta angle right. You gotta keep your legs closed. He's like, you're gonna feel like you got an enema. He's like, it's gonna come up, it's gonna rush you. And he's like, but if you keep these angles, you'll be fine. And I said, all right, you do it. And then I looked, and he did it. And he's Greg Louganis. I was like, he's like, okay. He's like, come on. I was like, I'm not going. I'm not going. And so, dog, I'm not lying. You know, at the edge right there, I was like this. I couldn't lift my foot. It was like, I was like, try.
You gotta get down and crawl away. I gotta get down and crawl this shit out. I ain't finna walk this one.
Is no joke.
I mean, this was the top one. Ain't no diving board. It's the platform.
Yeah.
Platform. And then I finally got to this point. He was like, you gotta do it. You can't go back. And I was like, yes, I can. I walked down these stairs. Fuck y'all. But I was like, I'm gonna do it. When I stepped off, I swore to myself, this is the dumbest thing you ever did. And I was in the air long enough to keep thinking, damn, this is dumb. This is a trip. Why am I not in the water yet? Oh, snap. And then I hit it, boom, and my mama hot water bag was back at it. I was like, that shit went up there. And then when you land deep.
Oh, yeah, you
Yeah.
go straight to the bottom.
Especially if your feet are together.
Yeah, you're going straight
you're
down.
cutting through the water.
And
You're supposed to go straight down and then push yourself back up when you go straight like, yeah, that's the whole purpose of it.
I got caught in the middle. I was in no man's land.
Because when you hit the water, you probably opened your legs.
Hell yeah, that's all the animal. I was like, oh,
Lost 15 pounds like that.
that pool was brown. I was like, oh, this shit is
Exactly.
oh, I hated
Show's
life.
over.
I should have punked out. Dog.
That's too high.
Oh,
I
we
couldn't
need
do
footage of that.
It's out there. I'm gonna have to find it. I'm like, well, you know, all of our stuff is of the era before streaming and all this digital stuff. But
Yeah. It's
they
hard
got
to
it.
Was this on a show?
Yeah, I did on the show on TV.
What show was it?
Sports Nation.
I feel like I watched that episode. To
That
be
should
honest,
still be
yeah.
around.
saw it?
Sports
Yeah.
Nation ain't that old.
No, but it's just hard. Like YouTube ain't got it. Like they don't have episode 7.
Right.
They be like, we have like 3 episodes. Yeah, stuff like that. Y'all see? Did y'all see some of this sports stuff? Y'all see Ja Morant and Stephen A. going at it? Y'all caught some of that?
No, I saw a clip today, but I didn't actually watch it. But I saw something's going on here.
Yeah, it's just another name in the hat of they ain't cool with Stephen A. and they blowing it out of proportion a little bit. I'm actually with Stephen A. a lot on this until he responded, because Ja was like, "Look, dog, Bane got traded. Remember? So it's the finals. What are you supposed to do? Like, we got to talk about it, right?" So Stephen A. talked about it, but then Stephen A. went there. He was like, "Yeah." People don't want to go to Memphis. Players don't want to go to Memphis. Jimmy Butler don't want to go to Memphis. He's like, it's too violent. And I'm sitting there like, all right, that's another layer of the conversation that mainstream may not want to have or talk through, but who hasn't ever thought of Memphis and thought about immediately, I don't know, it's a little dicey out there. Murder capital or whatever it may be, or what happened to young Dolph and the beef between him and Gotti forever. And I was like, oh, Stephen A. bringing it, he keeping it real. And then Ja was like, man, can't you do something else and stop capping and your sources and faking it?
Immaturity.
Yeah, when we watching the finals, why you can't talk something positive or something good? And I was like, no, I don't think Stephen A. was out of bounds with that.
Why did he name Jimmy Butler? That's what I couldn't
yeah,
figure that part out.
Yeah, I didn't believe that was true, honestly. I don't think somebody really said that to Stephen A.
But
I
he
thought-
said a name. Jimmy Butler could retort if he
Yeah.
didn't say that,
Yeah.
which makes me think he did say that.
Right.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that.
Well, Memphis is dangerous.
It's
I mean,
dangerous.
the bottom line is Memphis is dangerous. So, but it was weird that he named Jimmy Butler in that. And I've never heard of a pro athlete not wanting to go there to play.
I haven't heard that. I have heard when you think of Memphis, think of the violence and the guns and all that stuff. I mean, everybody saw how young Dolph got killed and at the donut shop and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So you're like, I've heard that. But it's like Miami. Like when you talk about Miami, the players, they say, go. Why? Girls and all these pretty women and all this nightlife. Okay. Then you start talking about San Diego. Go when I was playing. Why? It's beautiful lifestyle. And like every place has its pros and cons. Yeah. I think that's like normal analysis.
And coming from Chicago, I know how overblown everybody thinks of Chicago as just being a cesspool and being so hard and so violent.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it really isn't. I mean, it's got its moments, but every city has its certain places where you shouldn't be.
Nah, that's South. I mean, look, this is marketing because I've been to Chicago multiple times. No issue, but you got to be by the stadium, the lake. Is that what it is? The lake and all that?
The lake is Soldier Field is on the lake.
On the lake, right.
Yeah.
So there, and then all the bar hopping we did all there. I never went to Southside. I went to Elmhurst when I was a kid and ran track. Like, I've been to all these places in Chicago and been safe. But then they say the Southside and that branding, kind of like Compton. Mm-hmm. Dog, if
I was gonna say Miami and New York is the same thing. LA and New York is the same. Like that. There's certain areas that are really bad.
That's any city, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that about Philly. Philly's not too far from some of the highest murder rate cities.
Yeah.
in general
Right,
area.
I'm agreeing, but the places like Memphis, Chicago, LA, New York, the average person, I feel like when you ask them, they think negative first. Like, there's plenty of people I know that be like, man, it's dangerous out there in LA. You good? I'm like, yeah, there's areas, but I'm
They
fine.
got marketed even like yours is extreme. Southside Chicago is like a Compton thought. It's like Philly kind of is close to there, like you said. And it's not. It's weird. Is it for good reason or not good reason? Because most days no one gets killed.
Right.
But then there's a day where 2, 3 got killed or there's an incident. But I think every week there's an incident. Like whether it's armed robbery, burglaries, or shootings.
Oh, sure. Something's going to happen.
Something's
somewhere.
happening.
But you also have to understand, South Side of Chicago is humongous.
Is it?
It's huge, yeah. It's
What would you
really
compare it to
big.
when you say it's big?
Yeah.
It's
To like metropolitan LA? Like how big?
well, it would be like if you took the valley,
the whole valley?
pretty much.
Wow.
All that shooting in the whole valley? That's a lot. That's gangster. That's
would be-
dangerous.
it would-
I ain't going there.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's
If
pretty-
that
sure
much
they-
of area is bad, that means Chicago's bad.
Chicago's bad.
No, well, but see, I mean,
That sound bad to me.
Barack Obama lived on the South Side. Muhammad Ali lived on the
That's
South
why they
Side.
not there no more.
When did they live there? When he was a city councilman or whatever? Barack?
Yeah, no, he lived there as president.
Oh, wow.
He lived, Hyde Park, University of Chicago's on the South Side. The mayor
Oh.
of Chicago, Richard Daley, lived on the South Side. Everybody, the South Side is huge. It's
So
huge.
why don't y'all do a different rebrand or something?
Yeah, it kind of needs it because there's a lot of nice places on the South Side of Chicago.
Where did
Like a
Jussie
lot.
Smollett get fake account?
That was
assaulted?
downtown.
That was downtown?
That was downtown. Yeah, that was in an area called River North.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Not to get off topic, but you said he lived there as president. And I had this discussion with somebody once before. Doesn't the president live in the White House, or do they not?
Yeah, they live in
They
the
live
White
there. That ain't the only
House. Yeah, but
resident
you
they
your-
have.
You still
they
have
still-
your personal house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he got a
I
personal
thought
house
they-
now.
I thought they sell it.
He lives around the corner from the White House now, Obama.
Yeah,
really?
and he still has his Chicago house in Hyde Park.
And he got 7 other ones, I think. They
He's
dog,
rich as hell now.
dog. I met his I don't know. He gave me his card too, and golly, I don't know if he was like his head of like chief of staff or something like this. We're on a flight, and he was like, "Yeah, we talk." I hate to ask somebody what they do, but then I'm like, "Why am I talking to you? I would need to know what you do. Like, just get some information because they know what I do." A lot of times you don't get introduced to people. You ever go through that with somebody? You're like, "What's his name?" And it's because he knew your name, and you didn't feel like asking him his name, and he already just 10 levels in the conversation, right? Like, damn. What's your name? So I was like, what you do? And he's like, oh, I work for the White House. I work for President Obama, chief of staff, whatever he said, or something like that. I was like, really? And I was like, dog. Then I just started getting investigated. I was like, I said, what's next? What's on the agenda? He's like, after our terms, we're going to open up a museum and I think like a library or something like that. And then I was like, y'all going to be paid, huh? He was like, oh, this is nothing. He's like, wait. He's like, hundreds and hundreds of millions. You write books, speaking engagements, $1 million and stuff. I was like, what?
Is this Mike Stropmanis by chance?
I can look at my phone. I hope I put his name in here. But is he black? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it was a brother.
Kind of tall.
Oh, man, I can't remember if I had a drink last night. So shit, I don't know that. Stroud don't come.
Why he's looking, but I asked him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I brought that point up because there's a lot of people who debate that the president doesn't actually live in the White House. Like it's more there just for like.
Well,
office
Trump
as
is
a
in
front.
Mar-a-Lago.
They absolutely-
It was. I got his name here. Oh, it's Obama Foundation.
Yeah, Mike Stropmanis.
I got his number. I'm about to hit him.
We
Richie the
went to
politician.
high school together.
You did?
And college.
Yeah, Richie knows
Richie
everybody.
knows
Everybody.
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 He's like he's like 2 years younger than me. He's like a little brother.
Oh, he was the best. Is he still working with Obama,
Great
you
guy.
think?
Oh yeah, he's heading up the whole Obama Foundation and the library that they're building and all the stuff on the South Side.
See, I told you I don't be lying.
So they're doing the library in Chicago and not Hawaii?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dog, Obama, when we went to that Clipper game, made me the best daddy ever because he was Obama. And he's sitting next to Steve Ballmer. And Ballmer don't care. Like, he walk around with no security, no nothing. He just, hey, how you doing, Yeah, he don't trip. I mean, he owned the building, but there are other people with less net worth that have more security than him. It'd be some rappers sometimes. They be showing up. Well, Floyd always there with his security. He got to have it, I guess, because he can't beat nobody up, I guess. I was like, Floyd, you can fight everybody. Like,
You don't even need the security.
no, but it's pretty fresh when I see the TME.
Lined up.
Yeah, it's kind of dope, like them big old dudes. But so Obama there, and I'm like, so MJ says, Daddy, that's President Obama. And I was like, yeah. And I'm really trying to deflect and diffuse because I'm like, there's no way you're going to get a hello or autograph. I'm like, he's like, Dad, I want to go see him. I was like, I was like, you see them other guys that's just sitting there acting like they like the game? they work for him to keep people away. Secret Service, you know, they just chilling. So I saw like 6 or 7. I'm like, damn, I got to get my son over there. I'm introducing him to Chris Paul and all these cats all the time. And I'm like, damn, I can't. Obama, like, this is the win. And I'm like, there's no way. I was like, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So then we go halftime. And I was like, he sits over there. I said, they don't come this way because I go the way, that way. I was like, they go the other way. I got to play it off, and I'm going to go there and wait. And I'm going to hope that Obama looks our way. But I'm like, good luck with all the Secret Service and everybody screaming his name. So, of course, we're standing there. I'm just BSing. MJ's like, come on, Dad, let's go. And I'm trying to play it off because I want to tell him I'm waiting on Obama because if we don't get no Obama love, he going to be like, Daddy, what you doing over here? You just got played. And I was like, ah. So I'm sitting there, and then you hear it. I mean, you imagine 24/7, this your life. Obama, Obama, Obama. He just, hey. And this is MJ with the cast. And then he looks at me, and he said, this your boy here? And I said, I love you, man. I love this man for doing it. And he talked to MJ, and everybody else screaming his name and stuff. He was just talking to MJ. MJ talking to him. And then when he left, MJ looked at me like, Daddy, oh, shit. I was like, yes. And to this day, dog, he got that cast up there with Obama signs just framed up, just perfect. And he was Obama
Oh,
for.
he signed this cast?
No, that's not the cast. What'd he do? Yeah, he did. That's it. Yeah, he signed this cast and he has it framed up there. And MJ was Obama for Black History Month or something like that for his presentation.
You bringing up the Secret Service made me think about something. Remember, I was at that game, the one where Barack, that's where we ran.
That's the game you was at?
And being my boy.
Did Obama say what's up?
No.
Oh, damn.
But where we were sitting at, he was like right there. And the whole time we was trying to figure out, where's the Secret Service?
Yeah.
Because I know they in here.
Oh, yeah.
And we was literally like looking at everybody trying to figure out.
Me
He
too.
pointed out 2 guys. I'm like, nah, that's not them.
There was one guy right behind him with that blue jacket or whatever.
Yeah, it was a black guy.
Yep.
And
He
then
was
there
one.
A white guy
Yep.
who I think might have been the one sitting right next to him or like right near him. And as soon as he got up, I saw them and I was like, oh, and he was right. The people he called out, it was definitely them.
There's way more of them there than you think.
Oh, I know. When I worked at CBS one time, it was who was it? I think it was it Bush? It was Bush that came, and he came there. The day before, they didn't even they got everybody's name. They wanted to do background checks, like even coming into work, you had to go through extra security. Yep. And we did every day. Yeah. And just because he was coming in the building, and they were deep, like they did like a whole suite before they got there.
I've had security. I got security at Miami Memorial Day just to stunt one time, and it was the dumbest thing I ever did. But it felt good, like to just act like yo, like this guy with me everywhere. But it calls for more attention at my level than it helps, right? I've seen guys, like Justin Bieber or Kobe or even Floyd, where I'm like, yeah, they need some security because all these people will attack them. But I ain't never been in that kind of thing. I just gave a guy like $200 just to make the girls think I'm famous. No, I'm not famous. Some people know me. Famous is everybody know you, like to me.
No,
There's different
levels of fame.
Yeah.
Still
That's true.
famous.
That's hard.
You got refs coming up to you at every tournament. You got parents and adults coming up to you at the tournaments.
I'm not trying to be self-deprecating. I don't think I'm famous.
And TV
No,
too.
you
Post
are.
NFL.
You are.
We just talked about
Post
President
NFL.
Obama stopping for you. I mean, that's kind of famous.
He did that because he knew who you were first.
Exactly.
And saw you with your kid.
Yeah.
He definitely acknowledged you first.
He
In
did.
that
He
video
did.
you
He
shared.
was
He
you
acknowledged you
And
first.
then did that.
Yeah.
But all right, but famous to me is like Drake.
No, that's because you're famous comparing yourself to somebody who you consider
Who's more famous?
because he's more famous.
Lil Wayne is famous.
Yeah, those are
like
A-list
superstars.
celebrities. Yeah, those are
Okay.
You know, there's the
It's- it
LeBrons, the KDs, Halliburton.
So you're saying every
Hey, yo, then you got you.
Halliburton is famous.
Yeah, I'm saying he's famous. I put him in tier 3.
he's a famous, yeah. But
Tier
is
three might be a little
everybody in the NBA famous?
No.
Okay. Is everybody in the NFL? No, right?
In football, if people know your name, you're famous.
Yep.
100%.
Because y'all wear helmets. So if you know somebody,
If you know their name, if you know their face, if you can
if you know
recognize
their
them.
name and face, like in the street, that person is famous.
Okay, so all right, this is my famous litmus test. God, I gotta get somebody else. Who's famous in LA right now? Mookie Betts. Okay, so Mookie Betts kind of understated. Like, if you don't know baseball, you walking by Mookie Betts, like you just walk by the homie.
Mookie's a household name.
No. This is my point. It's not his name. Once you, this is this. Are you famous if somebody goes like this? Aren't you?
Right. Do people know who you are out of context?
Yes.
When you don't have your uniform on.
Yes. So I get still some of this. Aren't you? Right? So that lets me know I'm not that famous. Where no one, and Mookie will get some of this. And then they say, it's Mookie Betts. Oh my God, I know your name. But then there's people like LeBron. Ain't nobody walking up to you like, ain't you?
Shaq.
That's LeBron.
But that's the
Shaq.
levels of fame.
Yeah.
You're talking about the highest level compared to, let's say, like a mid or lower level.
I'm saying a different house. Like LeBron and Shaq are not in the same home as me.
But those are superstars. Like,
Yeah.
those are A-list celebrities, like a Denzel or a Tom Cruise. Like, those are
So
A-list
everybody
people.
you recognize, you say is famous. Famous is like the bottom. Like you're just famous. I don't call them famous
Some
or
people
celebrity.
are popular. Some people are famous.
I say people recognize you.
Yeah, people recognize
think
you.
that's
But that's
famous.
not famous.
Yeah, because
No,
in New York,
you're
you know,
famous.
you would
There's
run into
influencers that are famous.
Yeah, you run into athletes all the time at the bars.
You're famous, but you're famous.
Michael Jackson is famous. Like you
Why
can't.
you keep saying A-listers though?
Well, because this is the point. If you say someone's beautiful, and then you, hey girl, you're beautiful. You're beautiful too. They gotta be kind of close in looks.
But then there's gorgeous.
They can't be, or she's just really pretty.
Well, think about it. You played a dozen years in the NFL. You've
Yeah.
had shows on ESPN and
Right.
Fox.
Okay.
How could you not be famous?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I would say
you
most
said-
people remember you
I
from
think-
ESPN Fox
Yeah,
days,
that's
to
what
be
I was gonna
honest.
say. I think
Yeah,
you're more
from
known
ESPN and
from
Fox.
TV
Yeah.
than as a football player.
So y'all. So is Rob Parker famous?
To an extent.
Sure.
And you starting to qualify it. See what I'm saying?
But no, he's at
Is
the low
Kelvin
level.
Washington
It's low level.
famous?
No.
Why? He's on air.
Who?
Well, he's Rob Parker's partner.
He hasn't had shows on ESPN and Fox, not TV shows.
Not
Not
like
TV,
yeah,
not
no,
TV.
no, on the
Rob
network.
Parker been on TV for a long time.
Yeah.
On major networks.
Kelvin was on at 5 a.m. on the radio for about 9 months.
I know. I remember it before we did it together.
And fame is also people, because you kind of discredited this, but fame is also people just knowing your name and maybe don't know your face. Like if people know your name, that's still a level. That's still fame.
You know what? In the objective way, you're right. And I kind of, when you said like people know Mookie Betts, they know the name more, I think, than the face.
Right.
Because every time I'm with him, I'm like, he be chilling. People know that but it ain't like overwhelming.
I got a question. Does he wear a hat or no hat when he hangs out?
I know
Because
what
without
you
a
said.
hat, you ain't gonna recognize him.
You ain't gonna recognize
I
him.
could
Most
walk past
people put on a hat to be like, to be sneaky.
Good point.
But that's
He
his
takes his
uniform.
off.
Yeah.
Hat or without a hat. If I saw Mookie Betts in the street, I wouldn't know who it is.
Yeah.
But I know the name.
Right.
So to
Right.
me, he's famous.
If
Oh,
he
you
got
don't
the
know
hat
what
on.
Mookie looks like.
No.
I mean, I've seen him.
Most people
I've
I
seen
see-
him, but I don't. If he was standing right there, if he could have walked down the stairs and I'd have been like, oh,
If he came down without a hat, I'd be like, that might be Mookie.
I've
If he got
seen
that
it.
Dodger hat on, I'm like, that's Mookie.
That's Mookie.
For sure.
I
I've seen it.
I was standing at a stoplight in the neighborhood with Jimmy Rollins, and I didn't realize it was Jimmy Rollins. But I kept thinking, this dude looks so familiar, so familiar. And then when I saw Jimmy Rollins again behind the desk, I was like, oh, that was the
That's
dude
him.
that was standing. I was like, that was Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah. And so the LA and me are just like really trying to say, when someone commands attention, we got to separate the word because their whole experience is different. Like, when I was on the flight with George Clooney, that's famous. Like, not a single person walked by and was like, it was like, wow, that's George Clooney. And I know it's another A-lister, but my point is, well, then don't call him the same word as me.
Oh, they don't. Well, they
No, they don't.
Good. I'm not
They don't.
famous.
They don't.
I know. I'm not
But
famous.
They
there's-
both exist.
You're
Two things
not
can
a-
be true.
Yeah, yeah, they both can be true.
No,
You keep naming icons.
I
though.
know, that's why I don't
like
know why you
George
doing that.
Clooney, Michael Jackson,
I
LeBron.
said, y'all don't listen. I said Kelvin.
A-lister
I
they
said
are.
Rob Parker.
Kelvin's
See,
not famous. Kelvin's just not famous.
just admit y'all ain't got a real good definition of it.
I gave a good definition.
Oh, you did?
If people,
Self-acclaimed?
if people know who you are, a large portion, majority of people know who you are, whether it's your name or by face. That's fame. Now, there's levels to that fame, but you're still famous.
All right. I
Like
can
when
see that.
people ask me what podcast I'm on, and I say, "Oh, I'm on the podcast with Marcellus." Oh, I know who Marcellus Wiley is.
Okay.
Well, first of all,
I give you that.
You know what you're famous now? You're the famous Black Trumper now.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Is he?
That is
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
with you.
Yeah.
If you look at the comments, there's some.
Yeah. They think I'm MAGA'd up.
I mean, I've seen that, but I didn't know that. Like, that's what people
They're
identify.
gonna really hate me
you as.
next one because right now JD Vance gonna be my next vote. Who on the Democratic side? Stephen A.
Don't say that.
You know, you get him riled up.
No, I'm just asking. I literally am asking.
We just lost Richie. Richie,
button up now.
shrooms.
You say about to button his shirt up.
Dog, if
go.
JD Vance would have ran against Trump, I would have voted for JD Vance. JD Vance smart. You don't like? I mean, I don't know a lot. Like, don't go there. I know how his politics are.
I'm not even getting into this
Okay,
right
I
now.
can't trap you yet.
No.
No.
It's
No, for real. Who's coming out the Democratic side right now?
don't
The
know.
leader. Is it Newsom? You think Newsom?
I think it's either going to be Newsom or J.B. Pritzker out of Illinois.
I think
Who's that?
Newsom
The
would
governor?
probably- I think
J.B.
Newsom
Pritzker is the governor.
Yeah.
He's the Pritzker family, Hyatt Hotels.
Oh, okay.
They used to own Carnival Cruise Lines. One of the richest families, one of the nicest families ever.
Oh, there you go.
I used to teach the
I like
kids
this.
tennis back in the day. And they had like rules.
You overcharge them?
No.
Damn.
But they had rules in
Dumb.
their family. Like you couldn't, everybody had to go to law school. And you couldn't get an inheritance if you didn't have this kind of an educational level. And you wouldn't get it until you were of a certain age because they didn't want you blowing it. And they didn't drive around in fancy cars. They all drove like Ford Tauruses and shit like that. And JB is now the mayor of Chicago, the governor of Illinois. And he's probably going to run for president. So it'll be him or Newsom. I'm
I hope
almost
Newsom
sure.
don't run.
Why?
I don't like Newsom.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Huh?
And I'm quoting you. He was like, I don't like
Yeah,
him.
I
fuck
don't
with
like.
him.
I don't like a lot of things he's done as governor of California.
Deja vu. First of all, this is deja vu right now. I just experienced this before. I remember this exact conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, that happens to
that
me,
happens,
too.
right? Without mushrooms too, right?
Imagine mushrooms, you might be able to pull that out earlier.
How? It didn't happen. Gotta happen first.
That's mushroom talk.
Dog, that's mushroom talk. Dog, stop shrooming.
No, but yeah.
Nah, but yeah, what you trying to say about Newsom? Get it off your chest. You want to bring it up?
I don't like a lot of things he's done as governor.
Oh,
we
California
talked about before. I
sucks.
didn't like how he ran like the whole COVID, like how a
California
lot of things in
sucks right
place
now.
the way he did. He took incentives away from a lot of entertainment industry, which is why a bunch of those companies moved
Yep.
with the like the big Fortune 500 companies. You had obviously you had Tesla, you had with Oracle. I think they all left during that because
Everybody in Austin, everybody in New Orleans,
Yeah, like
everybody in Atlanta.
when other
Newsom.
states when towards like let's say the tail end of COVID, right? When other states were opening things up and letting certain businesses, small businesses open back up, he was still being stern, like no, keep it. And a lot of those businesses went out and they've never recovered.
Hey man, that was unprecedented times, bro.
Yeah,
But
we can only
other
say that in
states-
hindsight. That's
Yeah,
2020
that's
hindsight.
hindsight. I was saying this in
People
real
were-
time.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
You
mean
could have
that
been wrong in real
Yeah, you
time,
could
too.
have been wrong in
No,
real time.
no, I
bro.
wasn't. Well, I knew I wasn't wrong because I just stated other states had opened theirs back up.
Yeah, but
and
they
the
were-
testing-
They didn't
doesn't
know
mean-
though.
Yeah, they didn't know they were
because
going to be
doing
right.
testing.
They're like,
They were doing all
good try.
If you hit, you hit.
They were still doing all the testing of the numbers and everything that was going on.
Did you get
They were.
vaxxed? No.
No.
Oh, okay.
And
I
the
get it.
percentages were showing. The percentages were showing that the COVID rates weren't higher in those states.
Yeah, I remember
that
that.
were open.
I do remember that.
And it was like the whole thing in the beginning was if we leave everything open, that the rates are going to skyrocket. Well, the numbers were showing that wasn't true. And now, in hindsight, we see with Fauci, a lot of that stuff that they were saying wasn't even true.
Man,
Strong.
everybody was blaming Fauci. Fauci had been around since Reagan days.
Yeah, since
It was nothing political about Anthony Fauci.
No, it was because they were making a lot of these laws and rules based off what he was saying.
Yeah, but he was just following the protocol and the methods that they had established years and years and years ago.
And then he came out and said that a lot of that stuff was wrong.
Yeah.
So you can't say when he's saying this, we're gonna side with him.
Right.
And then now when he's saying that was wrong, it's like, oh well, it wasn't his fault.
Well, could it be like
Can't play both
rather
sides.
safe
You
than
don't
sorry?
I don't think anyone's saying it
you
wasn't
only
his
know
fault.
what you know when you know.
Yeah, occasionally
Yeah.
it's like
So-
I'd rather be safe than sorry. Like,
Yeah.
That's how we played
But
it.
you do realize
Listen,
that
I personally, in my household, we didn't go anywhere during COVID.
Yeah, same
until
here.
the vaccine was available.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, to us, it wasn't worth the risk.
Yeah, bingo.
So
Yeah.
I
Safe
was
than sorry.
happy that LA was shut down. I didn't want to be around a bunch of people. I did not want to be a COVID statistic.
You was also in that age group.
Well,
No, but his kids are not in that age
COVID
group.
was coming for you.
yeah. And I know,
For real,
and
I
I
know.
know people who died from COVID and early on.
Yeah, that's tough.
You know,
That's a
so
tricky
I
one,
was
too,
like,
but-
nah.
I hated that it got politicized, but dog, I was playing it safe. I was like, I don't care. Like people, and then when you say, no, I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna hang. I'm not gonna connect with you. I'm just gonna get the vax. I'm gonna get the, what was the ones after that? The boosters. People kept coming at me sideways. Like,
You said you got.
I got everything they had offered. I was wherever they were. I was in them parks. Like, yep, more.
Yeah.
Like,
So
like
you took every single one.
Yeah.
Pfizer, Moderna.
right. And then it really was conflicting because, you know, I got the public profile of being a MAGA Republican or conservative or not down with all that stuff. And then I'm taking the complete opposite when it comes to that. And I was like, yeah, because I'm not any of those things. I'm just, give me a question, give me a candidate, I'll tell you where I'm going. So I was like an Andrew Yang Gang guy. I love, Andrew Yang Gang is my favorite politician ever. Like, he took me places emotionally, mentally, intellectually that no other politician has. He didn't make it even close to the primary, so therefore.
Kind of like Brokeback Mountain.
I ain't talking to you.
He's like, I wish I could quit you, Andrew.
I ain't talking to you. Andrew Yang was a beast. Run this country.
I
He was
just
running
want to
this
say
country.
this. I do notice, and you can debate me if you want, but I remember during COVID, a lot of times, a lot of the people I know who kept catching it or people who had it more than once were people who got the vaccine. I know a lot of people who did not get the vaccine and never got COVID.
Yeah, and
But
I only
know
got,
a
I
bunch
got
of
it
people
once.
that got it more than once who
Yeah.
were vaccinated. So how good was the vaccine? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, the vaccine wasn't supposed to stop you from getting it.
but how come the
It
people who
stopped
got
it
it
from
caught it
from
more?
Killing you.
From killing you if
Yep.
you got it.
Yeah. And remember,
that's
remember
what
how
the
short
difference
that
was.
process was, and they had to speed that thing out.
Yeah.
Like, here we go, and it was just to try to keep you alive, not to say you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Because I got it. And I was in Toronto. We were visiting family. We all up there. Then you had to take a COVID test to come back, and I'm positive, and Araya's positive, and everyone else is negative. So they can leave us. We had to quarantine. Real talk. Had to quarantine. I'm like, me and my 4-year-old at the time is stuck in a hotel room for days, and they're like, you can't leave until you get a negative test. And is this on? Let me tell you. I could, for day 1, still positive. Day 2, still positive. Day 3, still positive. Day 4, got to call up some homies. This shit, I'm still positive. I went home. I was like, we got to call somebody. This
I know
is,
somebody that happened to.
Get
it.
that
We
private
was coming
jet.
back from Jamaica.
I was like, I can't stay up here. Dog, they had us in that. And, I mean,
you
she's
had to call
4.
Harriet Tubman.
Dog.
Sneak back into this.
That's like you didn't take the vaccine. But
It
you
is
got the
Juneteenth,
card
so
that says you took
shout
the
out.
Got the vaccine.
That was that had to happen.
That was happening everywhere.
That was happening, right? I was like, this is ignorant. I was like,
I know somebody who got stuck in Brazil.
how can you be stuck there? though?
Because
It's a good stuck.
well, when you're stuck in a hotel room.
Nah, yeah,
for
I know what
two-
you're saying.
you
Yeah,
And
go
back
anywhere,
when he
they
got
do.
caught, it was 2 weeks.
yeah.
So he had to stay in a
Could he
hotel
bring
for
something
2
to the
weeks.
hotel room?
No. They
Damn.
left his
You
meals.
can't even get no COVID escorts. They got no protected COVID
For the right
escorts.
price, you can.
They were leaving his food outside the door. Nobody. He had no human contact with anybody.
Have you ever been to Brazil, like on that trip?
No.
You haven't been to Brazil?
I've never been
All
to
this travel talk. I've been way more places than you,
been to
but no wonder
Colombia.
y'all traveling. Catch
I've
up.
been to Colombia. I've been to DR. I've been to.
I've been on
all
those
those
too,
places,
but
yeah.
you've been to Brasília, the dandada of them all. Oh, I'll give you a PG
I'm a
story.
little nervous of Brazil.
Let me give you a PG
They got
story.
the monster over there.
What monster?
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
That's why I didn't
heard
go to
that.
Brazil.
Oh, you mean that thing?
That monster.
That
Yeah.
Clapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got that in LA too.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a PG story. Man, it's crazy. All right, we land. It's a bunch of football players and us, so I'm not going to keep their names out of it, protect the guilty, because the story gets crazier. We go to KFC. Just because I'm like, I'm not eating Brazilian food. And they're like, man, you so hood. I was like, first we're going to start at KFC. We're going to go KFC, Taco Bell, and then we're going to just advance. And then we end up going to them steakhouses with the colors and stuff. That was sick. So I did it. Next day, we walking around our little tour guide homie. He's like, all right, this is your itinerary. I want you to go to this cafe. Just sit there. Watch what happens. I was like, all right. We go to cafe, eating. It's called, I think it was called Cafe Help or something like that. And you sitting there eating. And then as you're eating, you just see pretty girl at the pretty girl at the pretty girl at the like thousands of them. I'm like, and you're just sitting there. Imagine us at this table. And then this is what happens. If you look, you say, she's, and you're like, wait a minute. So you're like, no, I just think you're beautiful. Like, chill. Not you, right? So you like this, and then you learn quickly, don't look. Like you got to be like a girl. You got to be like, you know how girls be like sneak looking? You got to be that, right? And then I'm like, okay. So I'm eating, we there, we lit. We 3-4 hours deep. Then all of a sudden you're like, all right, come over here. What's going on? Oh, how you doing? And they start giving you this OBS, where you from and all that. Oh, I've been to L.A. No, you ain't. I was like, where's Culver City? What? She don't know. Bullshit. And then we went to the club that night, and then it went from 1,000 to like 90,000 of them, and they had bubbles coming out the sky, and I can't finish the story because it gets weird. I went on mushrooms. It got weird. Oh boy. Yeah, so I have traveled more than you, Justin.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
You saying you look down made me think, and this statement sounds a little crazy, but you know, when I was in Columbia, it's the first time I was like, so this is how a woman feels.
Yeah.
Because they like hound you.
They
to
on
the
your
point
head.
where it's like chill.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Please. Like,
that money
they,
is talking. That
They
money.
in your face.
Felt
They
like
will-
a piece of meat.
Like for real. Like
For
they're
real.
relentless.
Pulling on you.
They will not back up off you.
And what were you doing down there? Like checking on some homes, some investments?
I was a free man at that time.
Hey, did y'all catch? Hold on. Did y'all catch? Did y'all been watching basketball like WNBA for real?
Oh, I thought you said basketball.
Caitlin Clark in the building, dog. Y'all ain't been watching that? What y'all been watching?
Cooking that the other night.
Cooking.
Oh, yeah.
And getting beat up.
They trying to fight her.
Oh yeah.
Dog, why they so catty?
They jealous.
Girls, yeah.
No,
It's-
but I thought you. What did we start the show
Catty.
off? Being professional. You said professionalism.
Jay-Z said, males shouldn't be jealous. That's a female's trait. But you mad because you push dimes and he sell weight. Purpose of that is, it's just in their DNA. They can't even help it. They see her. She's like the face. She's the youngest one in there. She's the big dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just like, she's too much.
But how? If you want something and this person will help usher that in, how do you get so jealous that you block and inhibit just that happening?
Because jealousy always blocks logic.
That's true. It's an emotional
There are
charge.
people in jail because they were jealous.
And
But
ego,
okay, let's
They
leave
did
them alone.
something-
egos.
They-
the ego.
But all right, so when Jordan came, everyone looked around, and even Magic and Bird, whatever egos they had, they were like, "Give it to him," because someone gave it to them, and they said, "Give it to him." And look, Detroit tried to beat them up to beat them in winning games, but they ain't trying to beat up his whole cachet and beat him up to the point where this league can't advance. The conversation beyond the fights. All they do is talk bad about this girl, and all she do is keep balling and giving them buckets.
Men versus women.
Huh?
And I don't know Jordan's first 2 years. I mean, I know they froze him out the All-Star game and stuff, but I don't know how gangster they got as far as like getting beat up. Like I know how it was when he went against the Pistons in like 88, 89, 90, but like these were Caitlin Clark's first 2 years. So I don't know Jordan's
Good point.
first 2 years.
Yeah.
compared
What
to
about
that.
the WNBA? What their role in it? And like look out for her. Y'all was flying Spirit. Now y'all got your own little privates,
I
charters.
don't understand why they have that.
Why they have it?
Why do they have private jets? Other
Charter.
than
It's charter. It's charter.
Well,
but still.
charter. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're on their own flights.
Why?
Yeah, like, because the money that cost, considering you're not bringing in, you're not profitable. Because in the beginning, the NBA they didn't have charter jets. A lot of them same way. Until they got to a point where they started making enough money, then they got to that point.
Well, I think they
want
also
regular
think that
flights.
the product is going to be better because you travel in a better way that's less stressful. You can time your leaves according to what you need them to be, and not a commercial schedule. And you can rest and get there, on your own terms.
So is the charter jet going to make them start dunking?
Oh my God!
Because the game ain't getting better.
Our first hot take ever. We've got it. We just got our first hot take.
Is the charter
Stephen A.
The
Justin.
charter jet is not changing their
Justin
game.
A. Smith, I'm gonna call you.
I mean, Justin A. Smith.
They got a dunk. No,
I
Caitlin
mean,
Clark.
I could dribble like Bob Cousy all day.
No.
that ain't gonna make my.
The logo 3 makes you watch.
Yeah, she could do that on the charter jet or on the Spirit flight.
I know what you're saying, but you also are a businessman, and you have put investments that have taken you into the red as you're investing in it for it to hit the black, right? So you can spend, and they're spending somebody else's money, so it's easier to spend it, but they're spending the NBA's money in hopes that this will soon flip. And it's trending to flip. It's just not there. It's accelerated of late. They went from 50 million to like, what was it, 40 or 27?
27.
27, that's what it was, yeah. 50 to 27?
They lost. You saying they went from
Yeah.
losing 50 to
50,
Well,
little than
but
50 to little too.
think about it like this, Blaze. Most tech companies are not
they're in the red.
Not even profitable.
They don't want. They're not
for
supposed to be
most of their
profitable.
life.
Yeah.
Sure, you don't want that.
But that's
you're
different.
working. Well,
That's
not
a little
really.
different.
You're working towards it.
Yeah.
I get you. I just don't think that seems to make sense. I feel like they could invest that money to grow the brand and the game in other ways than spending it on the.
But
charter
Title
jet.
IX Part 1, let's
To
be
me,
real.
They only did that because the guys are doing
And
it. Because the guys get it, so they started complaining about it.
That little bit of money's not going to change anything.
It is when you're only selling a little bit of tickets. That money makes a difference.
You taking equality to the fullest.
No, what I'm saying is
Like-
they complained that they were flying regular flights. They wanted private flights because the NBA players are doing it.
Yeah.
But then they're also complaining that they're not making enough money. If
Yeah.
I'm on this, if I'm them, I'm saying forget the private jet, the charter jets.
Forget the amenities.
Put that towards
Yeah.
our salaries.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there makes more. Now to me, that makes me think if I put this money towards your salary, your game will get better. Maybe now you can hire a trainer. Maybe there's now the certain treatments you can get. Like just a bunch of other things you can do that would better your game.
No, that's a
Spending
smart
that on
play.
the charter jet to me is just like a Me Too thing. Like not Me Too like Me Too, but like.
Yo,
monkey see,
they're
monkey
doing it,
do.
so
Like, yeah.
I'm gonna do it too. Like, yeah, like clips.
I mean, just
me
you're
too.
nailing it on the head. It's just mismanaged right now. I don't know if the WNBA is being handled properly right now. Right? It's missed opportunity. There's a lot of people saying why isn't Caitlin Clark taking the lead to the next level? You can speculate on players that are hating against her, or she's not getting the support she should get.
She ain't playing the Olympics.
Yeah.
Well, that was she did get blackballed on that one, right? Yeah.
I mean, she could have qualified easily, and
I mean, she's a rookie. That's
Bad
the knock on her,
management.
right?
That's like you
It's
said,
bad management.
They're not
It's poorly
they're run
managed.
bad.
that was dumb. Like, she could have been there, and they would have been critical to some degree, but everyone would have watched. I remember when she didn't get in, everybody was like, I ain't watching Olympics now. Like, literally like that. The ratings dropped 55% when she was out for that week or two.
Ticket prices dropped by what?
Oh.
50, 60%, right?
Oh,
It wasn't just the
insane.
ratings, yeah.
Which is why I said I don't think they're going into black because they're all this. It's just one person.
Well, the
For
Fever,
now.
it's not
Take
one
her
person. I
out,
think they're
that's
saying Sophie Cunningham's jerseys are sold out too now.
Yeah,
One of the
yeah.
top selling
I don't know
jerseys.
who
It's
that
the
is.
whole Fever
she
team.
Fine. She
It's
fine
I know
and
that
good.
chick, Rikia.
And I would
And she
imagine-
got Caitlin's back.
Who that chick? Rikia. What's her name?
Kia?
Rikia. Rikia something.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I've seen her. Yeah, she. Dog, them walking into the stadium arena is hilarious, but boy, you see some beautiful women.
You do.
But then you see some baller women, some dude looking like they dress like what? They sit like what?
Walking every day.
I'm like, y'all got all brothers, like no sisters, like, and I'm not lying. Look, this is a great problem to have to be like, oh, Raya, Olivia, I don't know about the culture of the WNBA. Like, that's a great problem to have. Like, I ain't there, but I'm like, I would be a little nervous if I wanted my little daughter to bring me back some kids, because that culture is split.
Tough. Yeah.
I wonder how it is in their locker room for real. Like, because if you're a heterosexual girl and you not, they work together. Y'all hitting on me. Are you not?
Well, no, I guarantee you somebody was gay on every team you played on.
Yeah, I
in
know
the
one
NFL.
for a fact.
And
But
they,
not
they
outwardly.
didn't hit on you.
Yeah, but
He
they're,
was
they're
one.
out.
Yeah, but still.
He was outnumbered.
And, was it
And we
outward?
talked about it.
Was
huh?
it like public? Like the locker
No,
room? Yeah,
no.
That's a different.
We clowned him.
Right, that's a different.
We used to clown him
thing.
and joke with him, but He came out later.
No, you can't come out. Isn't that the culture? You can't say anything.
Well-
Isn't it Jason Williams? No. The twin that came out first to come out in the
Jason
NBA.
Collins.
Justin Collins. He's a twin brother, right?
Yeah.
Well, one guy came out and is active. The guy that played for the Raiders, he was active player and came out. Well, what do you mean we can't? Like,
mean,
there's
why-
6 girls there and 7 are heterosexual.
If they know, I mean, just like if we had 2 gay guys on our panel, and 3 of us weren't gay, or 3 of us were, 3 people were, they wouldn't be hitting on you because
You're a damn
They
lie.
know you're not interested.
You're a lie. First of all, how you know I'm not interested? That's what I'm saying. Like, you would, dog. It's okay. Like, I hate when we skip this step because we want to seem like we're all like so concerning or concerned with others, or we're also sympathetic. Let's be real. If you like boys and you're around boys, you're going to probably find a boy you like. And then you're going to have to figure out, does the boy like you? That's called flirting. Now, on a team, if it's 7 girls that are heterosexual, 7 that are gay, one of those gay girls is like, Sophie, fine, and she heterosexual. Well, let me see if Sophie like me. I don't think that's wrong, unethical, illegal, nothing. But it has to happen because how else you gonna know? You either gonna ask the homegirl, Sophie, about this, and then you find out, oh, she ain't. Okay, business as usual. Yeah, I'm in the shower, but
That's you would do that heterosexual or homosexual, doesn't
Right.
matter. It happened to me in New York, basketball game.
What's his name?
5-on-5 men's 5-on-5 men's league.
just so
No.
Jonathan.
5-on-5 men's league. After the game was over, the dude that was playing me walks
the
up to my girlfriend. No. Walks up to my girlfriend and asks her,
Game, G.
"Is he
playing
seeing
you.
anyone?"
He was playing you all right.
Oh no! Now I understand why he was playing me that hard.
is this a foul?
Eugene was like, I didn't even play.
Why you keep posting me
Foul,
up?
call foul.
I just got here.
Why you keep posting me up and backing me down?
G still
He's
got
a
his
point
boot
guard.
on. Can I change out my boots?
Like, how do I get all 6 fouls in one play?
This wasn't on the
Here you
scout
go.
report. This was not on the scout report here.
It's a foul. You doing the same move, Eugene?
Let me show you how to shoot that free throw.
Let me tie them shorts from the back.
That's how it goes too
GK,
far.
have you
Yeah, get him.
Have you ever heard of a layup?
I put the Y in YMCA.
You gotta dive on loose balls.
Oh,
Get the
let me
dive on
tell
this
you,
ball.
that ain't Gatorade.
Or maybe it is.
Want some milk? Dog, I know he was on your head. All right, Eugene can't get the story out. We killing him.
Good D, a different definition.
Good D. Good D.
He's shooting
I
from
got
deep.
great D.
He's shooting from deep.
I got great D.
The long ball.
So they say D wins championships, right?
It does.
There's jokes. There's jokes. There's jokes.
All right, so what happened? Y'all went on a date? Something had to happen, no? You know, he said you saw your girlfriend.
No. So after the game was over, he walked up to my girlfriend and he asked her, "Oh, do you know if he's seeing anybody?" And she looked and goes, "Yeah, that's my boyfriend."
Oh, snap. Of all the people there, he go to
He
your
walked
girl.
up to he randomly walked up to her. And,
Yeah. Oh, that's what reminded me of like what's going on with what's our big time Medea director?
Oh, Tyler Perry.
Perry.
Okay, that situation is interesting. I see both sides, different levels. Let's talk to it. So when they put the messages up and the accusations and the messages out, I'm like, all right, Tyler Perry is the boss of all that, right? So it feels different to me, and I know I'm probably wrong. In entertainment, that boss seems different than the CEO boss because you could be over there filming a movie, and I just think, oh, he's cool. And then he comes in auditions, and now I'm like your boss. But just a week ago, I was not your boss. So it's a little transient in that respect. But then the guy is a coworker, so should I respect you as an equal? Yeah, well, okay. Now you're flirting with me or I'm flirting with you, but I can't do it because I'm your boss. But I'm not firing you because of these flirtation moves. So I just thought it was tricky how he got a little manipulated, but he also manipulated the situation because he knew he had the power dynamic. What'd y'all read on it?
You talking about Tyler manipulating, or
Both. I think he got manipulated, and look, the dude did the role. Like, if it was so hazardous, like you kept coming to work, you kept flirting it out, maybe you felt uncomfortable. I don't know.
well, in the movie industry, that power dynamic is even stronger than in other industries.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And
Because you get the pick?
This kind of proves it, because this guy did not succumb to the advances, and he killed his character off.
Ah.
And you can
Also,
easily
that's
do
how it
that.
ended.
That's how it ended.
He got fired,
Basically. That basically fires you.
But okay, but let's run a alternate universe. In any movie, any show, people get killed off that I ain't even talking to, advancing with, or trying to date. So obviously, if you're Tyler Perry, you gotta be careful. Like if once you start flirting with a dude, he gotta live, he gotta be thriving, he gotta be everything. But could you make an independent decision? Okay, you don't like me. Independent of that, it's time for that character to move on. He's just gonna get manipulated like that, right? That's manipulation.
You can. I mean,
The guy's like, oh, you fired me because I ain't trying to holler at you. No, maybe I fired you because your character is exhausted, expired, or you ain't doing the part.
supposedly it was they didn't see it coming that character would be the one to get killed off. From what I read.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, they have messages from Tyler Perry.
Oh, I saw them.
You know what I
Some
mean?
of them.
It's in black and white. So I'm not really sure what his whole argument against what happened actually is.
I think I just said it. I hope I said it, which is these two things have nothing to do with each other, but I'm probably going to lose in the court of law.
See, it's the same power dynamic as it would be at Fox with that whole situation.
Oh, yeah, Joy and
It's
them.
his
Yeah.
company. He does the hiring and the firing. He is the power dynamic.
Great
He's
point.
the one in authority. And everybody else is working for him. It's same thing that happened to Harvey Weinstein. This is just like a reverse Me Too.
And from what I read, and I could be wrong, I think that Tyler met him before while he was being a caterer, and then wrote a role for him on that show. So that was the way,
deeper.
let me take you out to eat. That was a flirting, like, me get you this job, and then once you get in there, I'll try you. And if I tried you, it didn't work. Now I'm gonna write your character off.
Yeah.
So I think that was the carrot that was dangled, allegedly.
Dangling something.
Dangling carrots.
Damn.
I
really
wondered
trying
if
to
I
go
read
there.
a different set of messages, because the ones that I saw, I'm like, this seems overblown. Like the way, no pun intended.
Oh, boy.
The way he took
That Eugene story just set us off. But I know what you're saying. I felt that at first.
When I initially heard the charge, not the charge, but what he was accusing him of,
yeah.
the sexual harassment and advances, and then I saw the text, I'm like, this could.
Wait, he sent him a picture of him standing next. Tyler sent the guy a picture of Tyler standing next to a jet ski, and the guy was like, cool or something like
The
that.
water looks
and he's like,
great.
oh, you don't see the stud standing next to the jet ski?
Yeah.
You
See,
know what I
okay,
mean?
so I read it backwards.
I read that.
I thought it was.
How do you read
the
backwards?
guy saying that to Tyler.
No.
I
It's
thought
the-
he was calling Tyler
Yeah.
the stud.
No, Tyler called
Tyler-
himself.
Oh,
He
okay.
was like, yo, you better acknowledge me.
Right.
I'm the stud in here.
Yeah.
But okay, so all this is all bad for Tyler just because he's the power, right? Because being real, if I'm flirting with you and we working together, I could just say that, right? Like, you don't see me right here? Like, he gonna lose. He gonna settle. He got to.
He gonna
'Cause
settle.
He got to because he had the power, and there's no explanation around the power. Tell me about this story. All right, so when I was an NFL player rep, there's this one case where a dude was dating a girl, and then they broke up. They were done, and then she needed a job. He needed somebody to do odds and ends. Hired her, and then work, and then she wasn't doing the job. Like, she was like, we used to date, and boy, like, you ain't a boss. You like my ex kind of boss, right? So she kind of took it off, and then he had to fire her because she wasn't working, and then she sued, talking about harassment. Now, they already had dated before, so how would you rule in that case? I don't know what happened because I just saw the case stuff. I didn't follow it through.
That's probably a little more complicated.
Okay, it seemed that way, right? So isn't this a little bit of the Tyler? Like we knew each other before
No,
a little
because
bit.
they didn't date before he
Good
got
point,
it,
good point.
and it seemed like this guy didn't want the advancements.
He did seem. Hey, look, me being my spidey sense and reading text messages, that ain't the one to holler at. It seemed like
Yeah.
Tyler was doing too much.
He was doing too much.
The way I read it, Tyler was thirsting.
Yeah, but I think he wanted the advancements, and I think he was strategic, just like the girl with Shannon. Remember, he's like, there's certain things that she's saying. If Shannon, you smart enough, you should know.
You should see it.
Don't reply to that.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. I feel like once Tyler started that, he knew he always had that in his back pocket. Like,
Yeah.
so I feel like maybe on the phone he's saying one thing, but then on actual text messages, he's just keeping the replies very specific in case I got to use this one day. Because we're not going to act like people aren't strategic to do that.
Yeah,
we are there.
But well,
We're talking about a guy, he knows he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
What you saw that made you feel like that. It seemed to me that it was somebody who was really uncomfortable with their boss hitting on them, and we aren't even sure if this other guy was gay.
No,
And-
I'm not
yeah.
disagreeing with that.
So-
I'm saying,
And you're forced to reply
And
because
you're
it's your
forced to
boss.
reply, and when he didn't reply, Tyler was on his head.
Yeah.
Excuse-
I'm sure he was.
you know, about replying in the way that he wanted a reply to come back to him.
Yeah. Ain't Tyler married now?
I don't think so.
Or is that AI? I call it AI. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't.
I just thought he got married.
It just comes when it comes to power dynamics. It's just best not to play those games because it hardly ever ends well, especially in this business. Like
Yeah,
you
married
just can't do that.
But don't most relationships come from your social circle, your workplace? Like there, I mean, a lot of these come and happen and are positive. Like you go to HR, hey, look, me and Jessica, you know, all right, go ahead, do your thing. But when you have the power, and everyone always has the power unless you're the CEO, then nobody got power over you or the chairman, whatever it may be. But everybody in there, it could be somebody in video and you in audio, and video got more power than you. You know what I mean? Like, who can you date at work now? Are we just eliminating that?
I don't even think you can do it anymore, which is weird because at work, that's where you spend most of the time. You spend most of your time with people that you work
You're
with.
awake, conscious
So it's a
time.
natural
who-
thing that you're going to have an attraction
Who
to
says you
somebody
can't
there.
date in the workplace?
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't think you.
You rolling dice now.
Yeah,
it
because I
seem
think
like.
there's just too much to worry about if you do it.
It's you just aren't supposed to date people who are under your report, who you can consequence their career.
That's a great way of saying it, and that is true.
The power dynamic.
But at the same time,
Positions
if you're
change.
high enough, that umbrella is spreading throughout this whole company.
Yeah,
So that means
right.
if I work at a company of 5,000 and I'm like number 3,
scratch them all off.
yeah, 4,900.
Yeah, but it's just a relationship at the end of the day. You have to obviously write a disclosure acknowledging the power. You have to sign something. The two parties have to sign something with HR. But after that, it's just a relationship. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Whether there's a power dynamic or not, you have to work through it's the end of the relationship.
That's
it is
how
what
men
it is.
think. Usually, when you hear these cases, he just gave you an example of the power dynamic. It was good. They were exes, and it worked until he had to fire her, and then she flipped the script.
Yeah, like they're actually, I think if I were single right now, like if I'm going to tell MJ how the game going to go for him, I'm like, look, dog, everything's a receipt, and everybody's building their case up. So how does it look when it's over? Because all these relationships go in except one. You get married, and that one you're going to live happily ever after.
Maybe.
I hope he does the Wiley way, but you know, he might do it like Richie. But the point is, I'm telling them, like, everybody trying to crack your code, and none of them gonna get it. Only one, right? So all these are gonna be build up relationships. But the land, how it's gonna look later, like it's just there are too many cases where people are like, no. It went this way when it was in real time, but now retroactively, I'm gonna say it looked this way. Like it's just tough because you want to respect anyone who is a victim, and at the same time, you want to be like, dog, you're a grown man who's trying to keep his job. So I know you're not gonna tell Tyler, leave me alone, but you also, I mean, you stuck in a rock in a hard place. He really stuck between it. How do you wiggle that? Tyler Perry's trying to holler, and I'm an actor.
Working for him, and he's his own studio. He holds all the power.
Yeah,
There
this
is
might be
nobody
one.
above him.
That's
They
sticky.
can't do nothing to him.
You're on his property in Atlanta, on his studio that he built with his own money that's completely autonomous.
So this is a slam dunk, huh?
Slam dunk.
Damn, I don't talk my way into thinking this is slam dunk.
Slam dunk.
For the guy or for Tyler?
For the guy.
If I'm Tyler, I'm fighting it. He ain't got nothing to lose.
You ain't.
He owns
No,
everything.
you're not. He has
independent.
everything to lose.
A lot of money and a lot of
I mean, he
exposures.
gonna lose the whole thing.
A lot of people don't even know that Tyler Perry's gay.
Who don't know that?
A lot of people.
Is he?
You'd be surprised.
Oh, I didn't know he was gay.
See?
I didn't know that.
That's because he don't watch anything Tyler Perry.
Right, but I mean,
like Mo. But
So hold on, because of the dress, are we doing this again?
no, because of the mannerisms.
Oh, okay. Is he gay? No.
Allegedly.
Like officially.
Allegedly.
Oh, allegedly. Okay,
yeah, that's
gotcha.
I'm just covering our ass. Allegedly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But-
No, I know if he came out or not.
This story is not being covered only by the blogs. Like this is on New York Times and stuff like that. So he has stuff to lose.
Yeah.
This is not just blog chatter.
And
When I
exposures.
say he has something
Depositions.
to lose, the differences between a lot of these other guys, like Diddy's,
On-
and all these people, they're still under somebody else.
Not financially.
So like, there's a higher power to them. In his case, as you said, he owns everything. He owns his own studio. It's on his own land. It's his own company. He's not answering to anybody. So I mean, yeah, you might sue him for some money, but
it's
That's
pecking
it.
order in the social world. Like you think of Oprah, and you kind of throw him in the same kind of boat as Tyler Perry. Like they pile around together. Like that kind of shit.
That stain is on you forever anyway. So you
Yeah.
still, either way, you got, whether you win or lose, that stain is always on you.
I know that.
You're example of that.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't do anything, or if you did, like,
Right.
that sticks with you. So
And the
whether
people
you
still-
pay this person out or not, you still got to deal with it.
His fans and people still might rock with him, but like places that he might want to go, I don't know. He might not be able to open those doors anymore.
Well, there's a social currency he has to respect, and that's why big people all the time settle. And then people who are not understanding that level of dynamic always think that someone's guilty when they're like, nah. Whatever we're thinking about this many people know about Tyler Perry in this way. You keep going through this process, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. There's someone who doesn't even know he's been accused yet. Now, one day that's going to happen because of all this currency that's going on and all this earned media that's coming from this accusation. And then it gets gangster because if you depose Tyler Perry, he got to open up them phones and start talking and explaining, dog, you know, there's no better TV show out there than that. And he ain't going to go to that point. He going to settle before that point.
That's true. But then you can have the Diddy effect where you settle out and everybody see that you just paid that off. And now here comes the domino effect of all these people who are going to start suing and going after you because they know you will. You're going to pay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to fight that first one.
Yeah, Jay-Z.
To prove a point. Like, look. We're not doing
but
this.
what point? Jay-Z didn't have to prove a point. He's like, no, I ain't never met her. Or she's 13 and like, what? I wasn't even in that city.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easy point to prove.
That's different than when they got a list of your text messages saying, don't you see that stud?
Yeah.
And that stud is you.
Yeah.
And you sending selfies.
Hey, hey,
He can argue that's not like he can argue.
Have you ever sent a message like that
No,
to
But
somebody?
I'm also not a gay man, so I wouldn't send a message like that to another guy.
Even if
but
you
I can send a message like that to a woman.
Even if you send that message to a woman, that means that you are probably flirting and coming on to
Yeah,
that
one
woman.
way or
I'm
the
just
other.
bigging myself up.
For what reason?
For what?
He didn't
For
say,
what purpose?
do you see
For
that
what?
stud? Like, do you want me? Do you think
Well,
I'm a stud?
That was
He-
the
that was the
explanation.
hope.
That was.
Don't act like you ain't never
But
been
what-
fishing.
I know, but what I'm saying, if you in court, that's up for interpretation.
It is.
We're talking like it's concrete. You're saying like it's concrete evidence that he's doing this.
Right.
I'm saying he
if
can
you,
he
if
can
you
argue
leave
against
that
that.
up to interpretation in the court. Guess what way
Depends
they're
if
going
it's
to
a
interpret
jury
it.
or a judge.
Guess what? Man, come on.
Depends.
Come on
It
now.
Yeah.
makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean,
I get y'all
Judges-
arguing.
judges
I'm
see
not.
things-
No, you got
Very
a good.
logical.
You got a good counter.
I flipped sides with Justin
Yeah.
with that point of view. Initially, I was thinking that's what you do in corporate, severance settlement, so that it's hush hush and move on. But if it's the first case Tyler Perry has to deal with it, there's going to be more if he just pays off. I see that
His
point
type of
view.
money, they're gonna all start. jumping
Well,
out the
look, if you're
woodworks.
incentivized to do it, you're already loading up and gonna come. Like settling is not gonna. Good Lord, Tyler.
The Tyler effect.
Lord, the Tyler effect. Right, like I'm not waiting for him to settle. If I'm sitting there and got text messages from Tyler, I'm like, oh, I could just press. Now I can get into it, and then, like the settlement to me doesn't move it if I'm another potential victim. I'm like, oh, he got exposed? I've been there too. Diddy's case was different in terms of why the settlement really made everybody come at him. Because one, they were trying to come at him with the RICO, which is not even civil. That's criminal.
That came after.
Right.
At first, he was like, they wasn't even thinking about him. When she filed that lawsuit, that's when it opened the floodgate, and then he settled so fast, and then everybody just
but he
started
didn't. You know what he didn't? He didn't settle fast
enough. Yeah,
because he turned down their first offer.
Right.
If he had taken their first offer, none of this shit would have come out.
Yep. Exactly.
No, yeah, I mean, I get your argument with that, but that situation go either way. But he also had a lot of people that he was in business with and under. So I think him not settling could hurt him more than it hurts Tyler.
He ain't his own man as much as Tyler Perry.
Right. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
see, then you risk them going to a jury trial and having
or
and
a
having,
judge trial.
And
You can request that.
request a jury trial because then you want your peers to do the judgment, right? And your peers are going to say, yeah, you harmed him, and you harmed him for this much, and their punitive damages are typically more than what a judge will give.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp
Because
did that
they
and
want
he
to
won.
punish you. Well, yeah, but it was a whole different situation.
I'm just saying.
That was him
all
and
of
his
this
wife.
factors in is like celebrity.
That was him and
if
his
I'm
wife.
a celebrity, I might want the jury trial because celebrity, you can sway things in your favor.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm Tyler Perry, I'm like, I don't think the guy
what you're
sent him
saying.
a demand letter because I think a demand letter means like, look, you better pay me before.
Yeah.
And I don't think he sent that. I think he just said, we filing, and then, oh, y'all think I'm faking? Because, the first thing is it's going to be that victim bashing, He's like, screenshots. Now, y'all want to keep playing? And then I'm thinking he's sitting there like old girl was with Shannon. Like, don't shoot back. Like, we could get some. I got more. And I'm like, damn, if I'm Tyler, especially because he's not out as gay, this ain't going nowhere but towards that, part one. Part two, what's criminal or, going to get him to pay up. And three, we're going to know way too much about somebody who has this brand. You know what his demo is? It's like church-going Southerners, like grandma and auntie and them.
Yep.
Boy,
That's what I'm saying.
it's hard to come back from that if you go that place.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to me, because you touched on this when you said to those who are not at that plateau will automatically consider that as guilt. That's why I feel like he shouldn't settle because his fan base is those church women, and I feel like if he fights it, to them it looks like I didn't do this. Here's somebody accusing me.
But in that fight, they're going to see
settled.
you get sliced up.
Oh no, Justin.
I settled.
Do you know how you gonna
now
look?
it looks like an admission to guilt to all of them, and they think I did
Listen,
it.
my father's thing he used to always say, you don't go to court unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah. And I don't see him.
Don't do it. Period. No matter how innocent you think you are, you don't go to court unless you have to. Because stuff starts coming out.
I think it's a tricky
and you
one.
never know which way it's gonna go. And Tyler's got too much to lose.
Too much.
And it feels and seems very obvious.
I think a lot of it's based on your reputation too. So like Diddy, he should have settled because he's had a reputation for eons of being violent towards people, all different types of things. So I get it for him, but Tyler's had a clean image his whole career. So I think he has a better chance fighting against that based off of
I like how you think of things in this respect because you're like, he's clean, so people are going to assume he's clean. But I'm thinking, he's clean. Let's not let them know anything so I can stay clean.
Stay clean, right.
Because once it comes out, dog, there's no good conversations coming out of this deposition.
No, I get it.
All bad. Like, even if you think it was cool.
Those will sit there and not answer.
Yeah.
You've seen
and-
them do that in depositions too. Like if
Yeah.
something you don't want to answer, you just don't answer it.
Yeah,
They
good
can't
luck with
force
that.
you to.
Good luck with that. Then we're going to go to trial.
Now we're going to try.
And now we got real problems. Yeah, and you drawing that out. Like the longer it's in the news cycle, it's not a positive story. It's not going to be good for it.
I didn't know we were going to talk about this today when I read that story. And I read every single drop of it because I wanted to see exactly what was going on. And the more it's out there, the more people are going to suck it up.
Yeah. Damn, suck it up.
I know.
What did Eugene do to you?
Drops, suck it up.
Ever since that Eugene story,
Dog.
it went.
I
down.
saw. Did y'all see this? I hate when this happens. Like me and you be battling a lot. I'm looking at your ring right now, and it's got me thinking about. Do y'all really look at like players and base it off how many championships they got? Like that is a needle mover for y'all. Like for real, it is.
It's part of the conversation. Yeah, for sure.
And how high is it? What is number one in your conversation? Was he a straight baller, or is it how many championships he won?
Were they great at their craft? Is probably number one. And winning championships shows that they applied their craft in the right way to win and beat their peers at it. So I think it's definitely in the top one or two things you look at when it comes to looking at a player. Like depending on the sport.
Oh,
because
okay,
because he brought
so
up
different ring cultures.
He brought up Barry Bonds. I think Barry Bonds is the best baseball player of all time, but he didn't win a World Series. So
now, but reconcile that. How you make that sound logical?
Baseball is a super team sport. Like you gotta have great pitching and great defense. Like it's a super team sport. Basketball, you can kind of control your narrative because you play defense, you play offense. It's 5 players. It's more intimate. So and a one player can kind of like dominate or insert his will on this team.
Have impact different
to play a certain kind of way.
Football?
I think football's a different beast too because it's offense and defense. You might have a great offense and a bad defense.
So the only one that you're really like, yo, I'm gonna hold your foot to the fire is basketball.
I don't know because like again, LeBron brought up Peyton Manning. I remember Peyton Manning struggling in the playoffs.
Scarugga with a K.
You know what I'm saying? I remember Peyton Manning winning his one. I remember Joseph Adai was their running back. I remember him should have won that MVP, that World. I mean that Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
You know what I mean? Like so, like, and he's a great quarterback. But do I hold him in the same regard as Brady or Montana or Mahomes?
And you don't because he doesn't have the rings.
I don't. I saw him struggle. Like I can't ignore those big moments.
Only quarterbacks? That. Yeah. What about Barry Sanders? Barry Sanders is probably the best football player ever.
He's probably one of my favorites.
So you look at Barry a little less, or you look at Emmett a little more?
I don't look at Emmett more, but I do look at Barry because I've never seen that before.
No, I'm saying. So does Barry drop down and now? He never won a championship.
No,
he never even been in a Super Bowl.
I think it only applies to quarterbacks in football.
Okay, so
because
you
they
agree
have
with
the
that?
ball in their hand.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
But they don't have the ball in their hand all the time. They only when the offense got the ball.
Right.
And then most of the time you're giving it away.
They're giving it away. What I'm saying, the offense is always running through the quarterback. Whether it's him throwing it to somebody or whether it's handing it off to somebody, it's him making the call of what that play is going to be. So,
that's not accurate, but I hear you. A handoff is not me running through offense running through me.
What I'm saying
come
is,
on, give that running back
I'll give you
his
another
credit.
example of that, which obviously you're a football player, so you know.
Oh, yeah.
I could hand it off, or I could fake the handoff and decide, you know what, I'm going to throw it this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's still his choice. The ball is in his
Well,
hand.
it's actually, unless you one of them dudes he named, it's actually the coordinator's choice. I called a running play.
I get it. From the high up on the side of the line, is the one who's going to make that call.
Right.
But depending on the quarterback, they can change that call right there at the line if they want to. If they see something different, if they see a lack in defense, a hole in defense somewhere, they can change that on the line. It's still up to them.
We have 90 plays in a football game. Let's say that. 45 on offense. Let's say that. Let's say we pass a lot more than we 30 and 15. You trying to tell me that my career going to be based on I got 1/3 of the impact on this game, and the rest of this is really out of my control. Like when they hype up Mahomes versus Hurts, they ain't even on the field at the same time. What are we talking about? So it's the same thing. It's the same mindset of what are you talking about? He has 30% maximum chances to do something. The rest, a quarterback on a running play could be you. You could play in the NFL every time you go in, it's a running play. So I'm like, why are we putting so much ring culture on a quarterback in the sport when he don't have much impact?
On offense, that ball touches his hand every play.
It touches the center first. You gonna do why not center? The center touches it first.
It's the center's job to get that ball to other people.
The center touches the ball more than the quarterback, because sometimes the quarterback ain't even under center.
It's the job to get that ball to other people.
Yeah.
It's a quarterback's job.
So why you not blaming the other people?
Because the quarterback's job is to get the ball to the other people.
Right.
So he's the one that's directing that offense. So if they need the points, he's the one that's going to call that play to get it. If he's got to get that ball down there, that's all. It's all on him.
It's
It's
no.
on him.
I think we mislabeled the quarterback and thinking running plays has something to do with him. That's why they started going with Wildcat and all that stuff, because they were like, the quarterback's a waste. Like, they were like, we got to put him in a running game. That's why all these RPOs are coming up, because they're like, we got to use this fool. He's just out here running and handing the ball off. So that's 10 other players who are part of that. Passing game, Aaron Rodgers led the league last year, #1 team with drops. We killed Aaron Rodgers. He has 38, almost 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns. His team leads the league in drops. It's all on the quarterback. And it's like, well, I mean, I'm conducting this, and I'm trying to get you the ball, and your ass dropping it every time. Like, I just think that I don't see anywhere where rings matter, because if I look at Barry Sanders, I look at like a Charles Barkley, Karl Malone. Karl Malone was amazing. John Stockton. And then I look in like
I mean, Justin, your guy AI.
AI.
That's
Every
your man.
sport, I'm like, these dudes are everything. Oh, but they're like, and then some dude walking by, like Jason Tatum, like, yeah, y'all chill. You like,
Well, I think
I don't follow the logic.
Put rings as #1.
Oh, you don't?
But like Terry said, it's in the conversation. We can't just ignore somebody. Like, if you won one ring, I'm not putting too much on that. But if you somebody like the Kobe's and the Jordans and the Bill Russells, and you won 5, 6, 11 rings, then we can't just ignore that you won that many times.
How high is it for you?
It's probably like 2 or 3 on that list.
Or then we should be talking about Big Shot Bob all the time.
No.
Yeah,
Bill Russell, Big Shot Bob, then Jordan.
But he had no impact. He wasn't he had no impact on the
starter.
game.
No, he wasn't a starter, but I'm just saying we're making rings that important. Then
No,
what are we talking about?
I think this is all LeBron and them trying to run some kind of trick play for us to look over here. And then
Why is it a trick play? He got 4. He ain't got
it's a
0.
trick
He
play
lost so
'cause-
many. That's why he does.
You
it.
say what?
What he's doing is it's a brain game here.
Yeah.
Trying to watch this conversation so we don't pay attention to how many he lost. Because he knows at this stage he's not catching Jordan. Because we're not going to act like 10 years ago he wasn't saying we're going 5, 6, 7. So you cared about the rings and you was trying to get those rings. But now at year 22, 23, whatever, you know you're not catching them. So now it's like, why is ring so important?
Exactly.
Why we put so much pressure on this? No, you wanted that pressure when you thought you was going to get there.
I think you're right and wrong. I think when you're in the mix and you're like, yo, this is what y'all want us to do, let's do it. And that's happened in life, right? I'm doing what y'all expect me to do. I'm doing what I want to do. And then you realize, oh, what I really wanted was none of this, but I just went along with this. I don't know why athletes let them tell them, if your team doesn't win, then you are not as good as you thought you were. When I have been to All-Star games, Pro Bowls, I'm like, they team didn't win no games this year. This dude's the best dude out here. Like, you know what I mean? But I get it. Like, when MJ doesn't play football, my team is pretty bad. I get it. So it's like, oh, we should be in contention. But when he's hurt, I know it's a different animal. But he's a little kid. And I went through the same thing when I was little. Every year I was healthy and we played, we were in contention. But then at the same time, the years we didn't, I was like, I'm still damn good. Like, it just sometimes doesn't work out. Like, your corner gets hurt. And then you're like, oh, it's just a corner. Yeah, but the team we playing in the semifinals, all they do is pass, and they got 5 receivers. We could beat them other than that. So now we lose, and people are like, y'all sorry. How we sorry? We just got a corner that's hurt. That's it. I never understood ring culture. And I wish LeBron would have came out day one with this mature adult view of like, you can't, none of us can answer it like logically. Be real. It's hypocrisy all around. Contradictions.
He didn't come out with that day one because he doesn't believe it.
I don't think so. I think
he don't believe this.
I think he believes
he wanted
this.
all the rings. He was trying to get every one of them because he wants
yeah.
to be in that same. He wanted the same bragging rights that these other players are getting that are being used against him. He wanted that.
Oh
He
yeah,
just
I
couldn't
agree
get
with
it.
that. He wanted it, but he also can still want something that he knows doesn't mean anything. You want it because everyone tells you if you don't want it, you're not a competitor, you're not a leader, you're not a good player, you're not going to be in line to be the next Jordan or Kobe. Like if you go in there talking about, I ain't tripping. I'm about to ball out and set most points, most assists. I'm gonna do all that, but I don't care about rings. They'll kill you.
When people talk about not winning rings, some of the first names they bring up is Barkley. You know,
You got it.
and Barkley wanted to win one, but he never made it the end all be all. LeBron did. So
Well,
you keep
wait,
saying
wait,
LeBron.
He went to Houston.
Yes, he
That was
did.
an end all
Barkley-
be all.
That
Barkley-
was the tail end of his
He
career.
went to Phoenix.
But you're talking
Phoenix-
about the tail end of his
Phoenix,
career.
he was chasing the ring. Barkley
Both.
was clearly
both.
chasing the ring.
And Houston.
Phoenix
he was
was
old
the-
and dusty trying to get some.
He was-
They all
Phoenix
did
wasn't
that.
like a contender before Barkley got there.
They're a really good team, though.
They were really
They
good.
had
with
they
him.
had KJ.
But they
had
got as
Marley.
far as they
Marley
did because
and
of
them.
him.
Marley and Kevin
Tom
Johnson
Chambers.
and Larry Nance, they were a squad.
They had a squad.
And
When
he
he
went
got
there,
there, he
he
took them to the
demanded
finals.
to go to Phoenix.
Right, but when he got there, he took them further than where they had
Right,
been.
'cause he
it's
saw
not like
he was
they
at-
went far, and then now he's like trying to
Yeah, but he was
ride
ring,
their
he was
coattail.
ring chasing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, no,
He
of
was
course.
ring chasing.
He chased the ring.
It just looked different because he didn't join.
that
he
was
didn't join
before-
2 Hall of Famers.
Right.
It just looked different.
Well,
he just joined
actually-
really good players.
Actually,
KJ? Yeah, KJ.
Got to be a Hall
Is
of Famer.
KJ in the Hall of Fame?
I don't
Yeah,
think,
I think
he's
he's
in
on-
the Hall of Fame.
I don't know if
You know
KJ's
he's
in
gonna
the
I
Hall
would
of Fame.
imagine Kevin Johnson is a Hall of Famer.
I don't think he.
so.
I don't
he was
think he
a really
is.
good player, but I don't think he's Hall of Fame.
I
But
think
have you been
because
there recording
Tom
that?
Chambers is not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Tom Chambers not.
Larry
Yeah,
Nance is not in the Hall of Fame.
They were just really good players.
Have you ever been
That was
there
a
though?
squad.
Like you've ever
Marley's
just
not in the Hall of Fame.
you went along with something and then you had your own awakening and you're like, I'm trying to think. Maybe college. I didn't care about grades, and I'm glad I walked in like that. Because I was like, no one's ever gonna ask me my GPA from college. So why am I about to lose my mind up here? But LeBron didn't walk in saying that because he knew he'd get killed. You can't walk on college campus and say, I don't care about these grades. Like, they were like, you got to. I think that LeBron really, and I think respectfully, if you look at sports, we shouldn't be saying you aren't that good because y'all ain't that good. That's like judging you by your family. Like, dog, I'm not my family. I ball out. I'm an all-pro. Who is that, Mourning? Alonzo Mourning? Ewing. I'm Ewing. These are the Ewings. They ain't me. That's why we don't win championships. But why are you taking it away from me?
I just want to say this. That LeBron take, here's another reason why I don't respect it.
Oh, man.
Say it.
Because he's having a conversation about rings not meaning much to somebody who never won a ring. He was having a conversation with Steve Nash. So it's easy to say, yeah, I don't understand the value. I know he didn't say value, but like I don't understand the value or the importance of these rings to a guy who never could get one on his
Oh,
own.
you saying somebody who could push back.
If Michael Jordan was sitting across from him, would he have made that same statement to Mike?
No.
No.
Guarantee you he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
Because Mike would have looked at him like he was crazy and would have probably.
But is that
obliterated
genuine?
His whole that whole.
But would it been genuine for Michael Jordan?
Well, I think Mike believes that those rings are important. So I think it would be genuine. His response.
You know what's so crazy on the lie detector test? I don't believe that most of these guys actually care about rings. They're told to care
Most
about
don't.
rings. No, most don't.
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't think most
and I think it's because they've been told to care about them, and then all of a sudden, oh, okay, all right, this ain't like a belt in boxing, because this is not just me. Like Jordan, what if Jordan didn't have a Phil Jackson or Pippen, blah blah blah? You know what I mean? Like what if the Jordan that we all saw was great, just kept being great, but it didn't add up?
Mike won one in college too,
Yeah,
and hit the shot to win it. So he always wanted to be a winner.
No, I'm not saying he's one of those guys on that side. But I think there's way more of it. They're telling you you're good if you get one. And look, who doesn't want to win a championship as a player? But when you don't win one, I almost think it's like the combine. This is it. This is the best way to say it. It all should help you, but none of it should hurt you. So the combine, if I go and I ball out, good. But if I don't and I mess up or I mess with drills, stop thinking I can't play football. I'm at the combine for a reason. I think it's the same with a championship. If I don't win one, oh well. But if I do, give me some love.
I also think most NBA. Well, I'm gonna just speak on NBA. Most NBA players don't work that hard anyway.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
And I've heard plenty of other NBA players say that.
Because
Like, there's
that's
guys
what you're
that-
supposed to say.
No, there's guys.
So act like you're more competitive. I say you don't work hard.
Played in the NBA. I know some, and I know the difference between guys who work hard and ones that don't. There's some that just
Say
are
names and
there, they
numbers.
enjoy the ride.
Say names and numbers.
I don't want to do that. But just some that just enjoy the ride. Like
In what way?
their goal was to get to the NBA.
You would get
to
hurt.
live the lifestyle.
You
of it.
can't play sports and not work
You
out.
can go through the motions. I'm talking about putting in that extra work. There's a difference. Like every NBA player
No, you
talks
just
about how
went-
LeBron works.
You just went from
Everybody talks
y'all
about
don't
Kobe
work
work.
hard to now you ain't doing extra.
Yeah.
That's a whole different
Well,
realm.
They're both individual statements. There's a bunch of NBA players I think that don't work that hard.
Name one.
I don't want to do that.
Why
I would
not?
just say,
You thinking it? I mean, I'm not trying to make you out somebody. I'm like, who in the hell? You will pull your hamstring if you ain't working hard. Like, you wouldn't be in shape to play. Who you talking about on the bench?
You've never heard any player say that? Guys that don't.
Oh, yeah. I know guys that didn't work out, as you're saying, but I'm like, who are you? You're saying they don't work hard.
Let me be more specific. When I'm saying this, we're having a ring conversation.
Yeah.
So the guys who put in that certain level of work, most of them are the ones that become elite. And a lot of those elite guys are the same ones we're talking about who are champions. Have there been some that haven't won? Yeah. But, for example, we talk about Charles Barkley, number one. As great as he is, the biggest thing against him is he wasn't.
Weight.
Yeah,
wasn't in the best shape all the time.
Work, he wasn't taking it serious.
Real talk.
Kobe called out Shaq. Kobe said, we would have had more rings had he worked hard. In the summertime, he wasn't working, and he would come to practice. He's eating hamburgers. He's not really. He's doing half.
Well, I think you got to put more details there, though, because I remember listening to Smush Parker conversation about Kobe and the disrespect he got. And it's just Kobe had a different work ethic. He would be calling you at 2, 3 in the morning saying, let's go hit the gym. And I think Smush said, oh, hell no, I'm not working out at 2, 3 in the morning.
Right.
But you got other guys like Pau Gasol who's like, oh, you want to work out 2 in the morning? Let's go do it. I think Jeremy Lin said the same thing, 2 o'clock in the morning, let's go do it. So, I mean, that doesn't mean the guys aren't working hard. It's just who wants to work out at 2 in the morning, to be quite frank. I'm waking
too
up at 2
extreme.
That's a fact. I agree with you. But then Shaq came out and said Kobe was right. I wasn't working hard. So that example, yeah, because Kobe's a little crazy in the mind. He might want you to do things at crazy hours. But when he's saying to somebody, you didn't put in this work, you were being lazy, he called him lazy. And Shaq said he was right. I was lazy. I wasn't doing the work.
But he was successful, had the results. And I think in that moment, Shaq is pressured to only answer that way or don't answer at all. I'm telling you, it's a game that everyone runs. That's why every podium, how many times do you watch post-game pressers? You don't really, because you know they're all speaking spell. I got to say what everyone thinks or else they're not going to think I'm a competitor. And I'm telling you, Kobe rigged the game against people. Jordan rigged the game. Put it like this. Marshall Falk had a reputation for not working out. And I remember we were at this function down in San Diego, and I asked him, I said, dog, because, I mean, if you look at Marshall Falk, he round. He not like that. He like, Marshall Falk. And I was like, dog, did you work out when you played? He's like, hell yeah, I worked out. He's like, everybody says that. He said, you know what I used to do? He said, I used to work out before I went to golf. And so I had a 6 o'clock tea time. I'm up at 4, 5:30, whatever got to do, and I'm doing my stuff. And then I'm on a golf course all day, and people are like, look at this dude. He's like, do you think, Wiley, can I do all that? I was like, I knew it wasn't true, but the point is, without talking to him explicitly, I had always thought, damn, Marshall just gifted. You know what I mean? That doesn't exist. Dwight Howard fell victim to this because he giggling and everybody like, oh, he don't work. Dog, you see his shoulders?
But they never questioned Dwight's working out, like his work ethic.
But they question his will for the game and love.
They question his mental. Like, is he fully locked in?
Oh,
not his effort.
What? Every time I saw him up on the court, all them blocks and all that, he was locked in, and he just did it with a smile. I think Kobe put pressure on people, rest in peace, that made them, they get boxed in. And Shaq, you lazy. What do you mean? I got an album, a movie, and I worked out.
He ain't work out.
I think he worked out.
He has literally talked about it. He was like, he was like,
you can't say he didn't work out. Not
like
to the level that as Kobe worked out.
This is not my word.
He's not
Shaq
and
saying it.
That's like
he's
saying,
like, in the summertime, I wasn't doing. He literally said I wasn't working out. I was partying. I was hanging out. I was doing stuff with my boys. He was not working out.
I don't think that means zero, though. I think it's just like you say, man, like you said, it's 3 hours of sprinting all the time in tennis. And I was like, like we talking these absolutes, and we really don't mean that.
There's also other players that have. So one thing we can't do, we can't have people say something and then say that they didn't mean what they said.
No, yes we can.
They're saying it.
Yes, we
also
can.
have a bunch of players who say in the off season they don't work out at all, and they don't shoot, they don't touch a basketball until training camp starts. There's plenty of players who have said that.
Jokic says that, or
right.
I
So
think that's his narrative.
Somebody who's not. That means
Hold on, you
not
don't think people
out.
are disingenuous? And
Of course
athletes
they
are going.
are.
Yeah.
But I'm not
People
saying we
at
can't
school.
do that with everybody. You think every
No, I
single
didn't say
person's
everybody.
like
I'm saying that there's a boxing out in sports that is always around rings and winning, that if you don't act a certain way and say it a certain way and look a certain way, they think you don't want it. Peyton Manning even suffered from this. Peyton Manning had to be first in, last out to show that I'm the sheriff and I'm all that. And do you know how many dudes on teams are also right there when he shows up? A lot. You know how many of them are good? Not many. Like this whole I came here early, stayed late. The roads to success and failure are similar. Cats do that all the time. Dog, we had so many war paint game guys. I can't even say their names because they weren't that good. I'll forget them. Sitting in the front of the class. Come on, dog. Dog, kickoff happened. You're like, what? Like, he the first one in there. All that film study, kissing coach's ass. And I'm like, and then there's other guys who didn't do all that and were way better. And you go look at him and you be like, oh, he ain't even working out. Bruce Smith never would work out. Bruce Smith did the Stairmaster. He ain't run no 40s. He's like, man, I'm protecting these knees. Tell Bruce Smith he wasn't working out. I mean, the Stairmaster, most people were clowning it until you saw the results and you're like, I think everybody will get on the Stairmaster. I think it's just a weird dynamic to me. It's happened at school. People be always talking shit. This is why I don't talk to people at school, because they all talk trash. I say, go tell the head.
Say it loud.
And then they go up there and then they be like, oh yeah, I didn't really have an issue. Just wanted to know if. I'm like, why y'all talking about people?
Or they just make up whole stories and run with it.
Man, yeah, that part. So I see it. I'm not trying to talk you down because I think you're right. I'm just saying we getting gimmicked, dog. We getting gimmicked. Like John Morant don't want it no more. No, John Morant been hurt lately. You know what I mean? Tatum doesn't really want it all. What do you mean? Oh, he's insane. He's just not number one.
I want to say that I just think LeBron got to get over the fact that not everybody's going to call him the GOAT, and he can throw a curveball over here, he can throw a curveball over there, but we looking right down the middle of the pipe right there, and we know what we saw, and we know what we're going to give that prop to, and no matter how much you spend to me. With your team, with Rich and all that, how many podcasts you do or whatever, how many numbers you get, I don't care. And I think people don't care.
Do you see what Ryan Coogler, the director, what's his name?
Ryan Coogler, yeah.
You hear his defensive? They said LeBron, Kobe, or Jordan. He said LeBron. He said the social media part. He also said LeBron had to do it, and when he did it, Kobe was riding off of Jordan, right? Mm-hmm. LeBron had to be his own person, and then by being his own person, no scrutiny, never stepped in it, never messed up, and he chose teams that some did not win. And his biggest point was, whoever had to play against Steph Curry. He said, give me Jordan, Steph Curry. And he was like, who's the guy? And what is Jordan, Steph Curry? He said, Reggie Miller. How many rings he win? None, because of Jordan. So then he said, who was Kobe, Steph Curry?
Tim Duncan.
He didn't say that. He said it was actually, golly, I forgot it.
He would say McGrady. I don't
but it
know.
wasn't Steph Curry.
Right.
He's like, no one had to go through somebody as great as Steph Curry.
Look,
Is that a good point?
Tim Duncan's considered the greatest.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan's he's considered the greatest power forward of all
Not
time.
winning, though.
You talking about Tim Duncan?
No, Mike didn't win against Larry and Magic.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
90. That we beat
The first one.
Lakers.
The first one.
90.
So, I mean, that's not prime. That's Magic after. Didn't the Magic lead the league
He left
a year later?
92.
92?
No, 91.
So you caught him on his
91.
second to last year.
No, but he was
Isaiah.
still.
We had to go through Isaiah and the Bad Boys.
Man, Isaiah's not Steph Curry to Ryan Coogler.
But I'm saying Tim
was that
Duncan
guy.
is Steph Curry.
Tim Duncan is.
And that's what Kobe went through. And I respect Ryan. I love Ryan, so I'm not going to shit on Ryan and stuff. But, nah.
So you didn't like his point? That fully?
Nobody is taking away.
Basically saying nobody
because you're bringing in another smoke screen. Nobody is taking away from LeBron as the human being, as the man, as the person. He's a great person, as far as I'm concerned. Like off the court, like Family Guy does this for the community. Great person, but that doesn't add blocks into your basketball greatness. It adds greatness. It adds to your personal story. That's cool, but we're talking about basketball.
Okay, we're talking about basketball. Which era is harder to play against? That's what he's trying to say. It has to be LeBron versus Jordan. Don't lie and say you used to not watch basketball games. Like, all them dudes supposed to be on the court? Like Kurt Rambis and them?
No, this era, I was as far as talent-wise, this era is the best. Like, everybody can do everything.
So it's harder.
I can say,
LeBron is the first person that we had to make excuses for why they're not winning or how many times they lost.
No, that's not
You
true.
don't have to do that, everybody. Everybody else just got out there, they lost, they took their L, and they just figured out a way to come back and either win.
We didn't have to do that. No,
pushing.
that's not
Jordan
true.
lost a lot of times too, but he also
Not in
showed
the
up and
finals.
won a lot on like doing what he needed to do.
That's
And he
Ryan's point.
always gave
Social
max
media.
effort every time. We've seen LeBron.
No, he did
do
not. He
things-
retired twice.
That doesn't. But when he played, he was giving max effort. We can't talk about when he retired. He wasn't playing. I'm talking about when he was in
That's
those
called
games.
quitting if you're coming back. You know that.
It's
You
not
could-
quitting if you left after you won.
Why?
He won a championship,
What?
then retired.
Who so? You still quit?
That's not quitting.
Why is it not quitting? Go.
If you walk away at the top, that's not quitting.
Yes, it
you
is.
already did what you were supposed to do.
'Cause
You won. You got to the highest point. You won.
Are you not
You came back
respecting?
and then did it again.
No, that's called I'm going to tap out and refuel because I don't have enough gas to keep this going.
Because I'm too good.
No, that's not too good.
That's
Are you really that
I'm saying
blind?
you could give your
so
perception.
you sound like you know something we don't know. Is that what you think? Or what
No. I'm just telling you as an athlete. Look,
Okay.
this is y'all ever run gassers? 40 or suicides. They call it.
Suicide.
The thing about a suicide is it's 17 times, right? Up and back. If you had to do 9 and then only had to do 8, it ain't a suicide. It's casual. I could just break this. If I could break this up, I got it all day. Like what Jordan was able to fool everybody into doing, and he had good reason for his father. I'm not doing that. But gambling, exhaustion, whatever you want to call it, it's the lactic acid of playing. Like that you want to tap out and escape. And say what you want, that is an escape. You can go, stay away from the rigors, the stressors. You can get recharged. You come back and reload with a new team and then go get it. Versus somebody who's just, I can't let it go even if I'm coming up short. That's what I think Jordan has fooled everybody into. Those breaks matter. You imagine if LeBron took a break and went to Germany and did all his stuff?
He took a break by joining other teams to give him more help. That to me, that was a version
Well,
of
Jordan
quitting.
just stayed there and the help came to him.
Yeah,
Crook or crook.
because he was that good.
Jay took a year and a half off and came back and won 3 more.
I know.
I mean,
Respect.
that year and a half, you think
Against
we
a
put up
lesser
3
league,
for-
respect.
Who?
Respect.
Jordan.
Jordan.
Jay.
I'm not dogging Jordan. I'm just saying if we're going to say just basketball,
Right.
somebody who runs off 3 and just say, I'll be back, and then runs off 3 versus somebody who's like, I ain't going nowhere, that other person for just fighting that fight needs to be respected a lot more. But I know what you're going to say. He didn't win the fight, but he
was
fought
fighting
him.
that fight because he was chasing the ghost of Jordan. That's why he kept pushing, because he's trying to get to where he was at. Jordan was elite enough where he could do that, take a break, come back and do it again.
Well, I wonder.
That's why he can never be
Well,
Mike.
that talks to the competition then. I mean, Jordan is great, but that means I could manipulate it. It's a
I
little
don't think
easy. I
that
could
talks
toy
to
with
the-
this league.
I don't think that talks to the competition. I think that shows how good he was. Because there's tons of superstars that played in that era. But he was that good that he made them, they just couldn't beat him.
No, they couldn't beat him. And only Olajuwon got him when he was gone.
When he left.
I know. But let's not act like LeBron going somewhere and then Jordan letting those people come to him is not the same result. It's like Rodman showing up. You get rid of, who was his name? What was his name?
Horace
Grant. And get Rodman and you acting like, oh, LeBron went somewhere and got Bosh. Like, what? I don't care where you are. Rodman land on your lap. Like, see? Like, if you want to play the credit game.
We talked about Malone and Barkley. They're 2 top 5 power forwards of all time to this day. And neither one of them could get a ring because of him.
It's Jordan. Yep.
So that shows how good.
So
it shows how good
The
he
Jazz
was.
lost to
Because
Jordan.
of Phil Jackson. Y'all better stop playing.
Come on, stop doing that.
I-
Phil ain't nothing without Mike.
And vice versa. Or
Mike-
Phil can say more. He said,
Phil needed Mike
give me a
more
Mike,
than
a
Mike
Kobe.
needed Phil. Phil needed Mike more than Mike needed Phil.
No, where you get that from?
I'll say something. I think that LeBron, Kobe, and Magic probably played against tougher teams in the finals than Jordan did.
In the finals, maybe.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
would you say that?
You have to get to the finals
Because
first.
they
Yeah.
most of all they played against all-time great teams. Like I would say, like the Jordan played against all-time great team in Bird. I think LeBron played against the all-time team in that Golden State team. I think Kobe played against the all-time team going through San Antonio to get to the finals. Like these are all-time great teams they went through. I don't know any all-time great team that Jordan really went through.
Lakers.
Wait, I just
Not in the
They weren't the same
90s.
Lakers
Not
team.
the 90s.
That's when they had Divac and Worthy got hurt. They were older.
Yeah,
Like
they
there
were
was
old.
no prime team that he really beat that you would put in the top 20 of all time.
You don't think
I
that Stockton Malone pick and roll team was a?
top 20 team of all time?
It was up there.
Can
It
I
was
just-
nice.
Can I just throw this in there?
I thought they
real
were gonna
quick,
win that.
Please, real quick.
Yeah.
Did Golden State? Quick question. Did Golden State play against an all-time great team when they won their championships? I'll answer for you.
No.
You know why they didn't? Because they were the all-time great team.
Right.
You know why Jordan and the Bulls never played against an all-time great team? Because they were the all-time great team. 72-10. That's why they had 6 rings, because they were the all-time great team.
Yep.
So chances of them playing another one is not likely, because that's what all-time great is. It's very few of them.
But I think when you clash, when you have two all-time great teams clash, that's when it's a real battle.
When does that happen?
It
Most
happens all the time.
all-time
The
great
Warriors
teams-
Spurs series was a two
But
all-time.
that was
great
for the
teams.
championship.
think
I'm
the
saying he
Lakers-
said in
Oh,
the
no,
finals.
that
He said in the
Western
finals.
Conference. You're right, you're right.
I think-
It's very
I think
rare
Lakers
there's two
played against
all-time
three
great teams.
all-time great teams. They played against the Celtics, the Celtics, Sixers, and the Pistons, and they won. Those are all
Thank you.
arguably
Celtics
top
and
15 of all
Lakers-
time.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the only time that's happened. Since when has that happened? Like from that point on.
But it happened. You said it doesn't happen, and now
I said
happened.
I said it very rarely happens.
Yeah, but the point is, Phil Jackson, and this is what I'm not going to allow you to do. Phil Jackson created a system that got him 6 with Mike, got him 5 with Kobe, and everybody else. And basketball players broke this down. They said that system allows you to set you up for success for all the multiple motions and formations, et cetera. And they said, we got to give LeBron props. He ain't never been in no system. This dude has won 4 rings without the guy who got a 6 and a 5. Think about it. We playing game. He playing Uno with no draw 4s. like the guy who deals out those didn't give him anything, and he turned it and got 4.
Yeah, but Marcellus, if the system was that easy, everybody would have been doing it. That system worked because they had Jordan.
Thank you.
Yes.
And
That's what I was
because
gonna
you had
say.
Kobe.
Yes.
Because
Thank you.
when the system didn't work, they could just get you a bucket.
Oh, of course.
That's
Of
why.
course. I
Otherwise,
agree with that.
As much of a copycat league as the NBA is,
Yeah.
everybody.
Because he
would
tried
be
to run it
doing
with the Knicks, didn't he? Try to
It
run
didn't
it,
work.
and it
It
didn't
didn't
work.
work.
But that's
It
the
didn't
point. Jordan and Kobe. No one. I'm not trying to bring them down. I'm trying to say, why is this dude right next to you and he ain't doing? Everybody is running the wing T. Wing T wins 9 out of 10 Super Bowls. We ain't running nothing like that. We don't. Why you got almost as many rings as him? He has 1 fewer than Kobe, and Kobe got 3 with Shaq. Who did he play with that was Shaq? Nobody. So then it's like, all right, you got 4, you around the corner, and you had to walk here. We took the bus. I don't know, dog. Like, you way too close. He should be at 2 or 1, and then you be like, yeah, he down
Well, he
there.
got 2 with 2 other Hall of Famers.
Of course, they all got. Magic didn't play with Hall of Famers. Jordan didn't play with Hall of Famers. Kobe didn't play with Hall of
They weren't
Famers.
Hall of Famers at that time.
Who
I
is?
mean,
Nobody's Hall of Famer when they
what I'm
playing.
saying is there's certain players like when LeBron went there, he knew they was Hall
No,
of
he knew they were
Famers.
damn
They
good.
Were already
Insane.
established. You talking about the Lakers? Them guys got drafted there.
All right, here we go again. You think that matters? That means the
It-
GM
it
versus
does
me.
Matter when
It
you're talking
doesn't.
about we're talking about credibility, championships, and him being in these conversations. That's always worked against him.
Because the conversation is
he
rigged.
He had to go there to win. He went to another.
All right,
guys
you want to play that game?
get
Kobe
assistance.
went to the Lakers. He wasn't
No,
drafted
no,
by
he
the
didn't.
Lakers.
Yes, he was.
No, he was not.
He was drafted by the Hornets, and they
Uh,
traded him on game.
But the transaction.
It's the same day.
It doesn't.
It's the same
Hold
day.
on,
That's
hold
a
on.
semantics.
Slow down, though.
That's
And they,
semantics.
and they
Not-
traded a Hall of Famer to get him,
And-
and Vladdy, because he's a Hall of Famer.
And Shaq wasn't drafted to the Lakers.
Yeah, they traded for him.
Okay, so like hook or
signed
crook, it don't matter. Like, doesn't matter how you eat, whether you go in the back and cook it.
Oh, it matters. 'Cause that's why KD goes through that.
He
'Cause
he doesn't
quit.
go through that with
He
sane
quit.
people.
He quit. You know, you like to use the quit word. He quit on OKC and ran to the team that just spanked
So
him.
you would have been fine with everything if his GM would have traded him to Golden State.
I would have. Because that would have
How
been
does that change the damn thing?
That's out of his
How
control.
does that change the damn That's the
out of his
logic we're
control.
dealing with. People
it's
at home,
out of his control.
please don't raise people to root for sports in this mindset.
It's out of his control.
He could have got traded, and you'd be like, oh, it's all good. He didn't want to go. What?
You running
Cats-
from you running.
KG did the
I'ma
same
tell you
thing.
why.
He wanted to go, and he said, trade me. Like,
I'ma tell you why.
But trading means losing pieces to get. Like
Running-
to go be a free agent to go sign is like then I lose nothing and I'm
I
adding more
took
to
a
the-
haircut. I'm sorry. I got less money so Dwayne can have his money. So
I'm talking about
Bosh can have
KD.
his
I'm
money.
talking about
Oh,
KD.
KD?
Talking about KD.
Oh, KD.
Running from competition and you being traded, let's say against your will, is not the same.
Where you
thing.
get these cliches? Running from competition.
giving
He had
up.
to play everybody. What do you mean? And he went there with Steph Curry and was better than Steph.
If you're going against a team that just beat you, your direct competition is them. If now they just
Okay.
beat me and I
and
go
why were
run
they
and
so
join
good?
them,
Why were they so hard to beat? Because of Steph, right? I went there
Everybody.
and was better than your best player. Can you stop saying that I
He
ran?
was not. He was not. Stop it.
I
Stop
go on
it.
your relay.
He loves
the
KD.
relay that beat me, and I beat Usain Bolt. And you talking about I'm running from him? No, I'm on Jamaica because I got some heritage.
I mean, KD, you don't think KD's the best player on that squad?
You know.
Stuff?
It's easier for KD to be the best because of all the pressure and all the attention that's on Steph. Steph is like,
I'm
if
hearing it.
Steph is there, that allows him to do everything else. Steph is running a point. He's everywhere on that court.
Stop
you
it.
gotta focus on
Stop it.
Steph
They
crosses that
begged Steph for the
half-court
defense.
line.
You ain't even leading with
Steph
the
crossed the half court line. They already throwing defenders at him. You know who's
Yeah,
more-
and they threw it to him the year before, and that's why they went and got KD.
And
Because they
the
were
year-
like, yo,
and
you,
year
the
before that,
Clippers
they
beating
did
you
that,
up.
He won a championship.
And the Clippers beating you
So we
up.
ain't gonna skip that. They did
Huh?
it to him before that, and he won a championship.
Yes, you're making my point.
This is why he's the best.
How is KD better than the guy who won a championship before, won a championship after, and then you're not giving him props? Well, he must be better than Steph because he played with Steph and Steph wasn't him.
Steph lost the year before to before they won their first ring. He lost to San Antonio.
You ain't
right?
gonna answer my question?
No, I'm about to. I'm
I
about to.
went with the guy who set the record. You're trying to say he's the record setter. He's the guy. I'm using track, but let me get out of track. He's the guy. That's why you can't win, KD. KD says, okay, I'm going to go with him. But I'm not going to go. I will be with you 100% if he went with Steph and was less than Steph. He went there and was better than Steph to the point when he got hurt, it's over. Not when Steph got hurt. Come on, y'all.
Steph.
Anybody here? Anybody here?
Steph let him shine. Steph let him shine.
We going back to that level of sports. Your kids ain't gonna go on no team and let somebody shine. Your kid. Let me tell you what your kids are. Not good enough. It's okay.
No,
My son could be the same way. Not good enough, bro. He ain't the best one on our basketball
so
team.
You've never seen a player take a step back to let another player get his off.
LeBron and Dwayne Wade didn't even do that. Dwayne has said
at first he
LeBron was better.
At first, Dwayne did do that, and then after a while, when he was starting to go like this, it was like, hey, this is your team. Because when he first got there, the reason why they couldn't win is because it was like that tug of war. Both of them were like,
Yeah, so
the guy.
somebody got to be Batman. And who's Batman?
Yeah, eventually he stepped
No,
back.
no,
He
what's his
said he
name?
did.
Say it.
D-Wade.
Batman?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Batman.
I know. I got you rattled.
Yeah.
It's called LeBron. And now it's KD and Steph. Who was Batman?
I still think I said it's Steph.
I think KD was clearly Batman.
I don't think so.
Clearly.
I don't
His
think so.
defense alone. I remember when they played the Clippers, and the Clippers were getting after Steph because they were physical because Chris Paul. And they were like, yo, if he don't get somebody to help him to protect this rim and play some a little more offense, they done. This whole dynasty ain't gonna work.
So y'all saying KD was Batman on that Golden State team?
I'm saying that. I've
Wow.
always
No
said
way.
that.
He won 2 Finals MVPs, and it wasn't just because he turned it on in the finals.
That finals
I
MVP
think
thing is
that-
so overrated.
No, it's not.
It
You
is.
can probably say
Rings
that,
are overrated.
I
too.
think you can probably say that from a leadership standpoint because he's never been the best leader, but
He
like
was the best player on that team.
Dog,
Right.
KD?
I don't think so.
Well, how come when KD got hurt, and I know Clay got hurt too, and when KD got hurt, it was rap.
Yeah, 'cause
Come on,
Clay-
Steph, you
They
good?
both were hurt. I'm glad you said that. They were both hurt.
I wish Clay was healthy, so then you would say,
Because
damn.
if Clay was healthy, they might not have lost that. They
I
barely
don't know.
lost. They barely
I don't know.
lost.
I don't know.
It's not like they got spanked.
No, but KD was
Wasn't it
clearly
game
the
7?
guy.
Didn't it go to game 7?
Dog,
I'm
gun
not
to your
sure.
head. I don't understand. We can't lie. Gun to your head. Who had better stats? Who was the better player?
Stats don't always make you the better player.
If you don't get out my face,
I'm taking Steph.
the fuck is that I'm doing this
taking
for?
Steph over KD.
I am not saying you're not taking Steph up KD.
That's what I'm saying. Better player.
Oh,
I
they
think
were
Steph's the better
teammates.
player.
They were teammates. Who was
Right.
the better player as teammates?
Steph. I think Steph is the better player. That's what I'm saying. You're only saying that because you say he got the Finals MVP. All right, that was that serious.
No,
I don't think he was a better player.
I'm
just
gonna pull
because
up
he
the
got
averages.
the Finals MVP.
I'm gonna pull up the
Because
averages.
Iguodala got the Finals MVP on the first one, and at no point
Don't
did I
give
think
me
he
the
was better
outliers.
than Steph.
I'm talking about those two. Did
See
he?
how you keep changing it?
No,
he
I'm
brings
not-
up Finals MVP with KD.
No, but Marcellus
When I
has a
say
point about
Iguodala,
Steph.
he's just
KD was a more efficient player, if I
KD
remember
was better.
correctly.
KD.
Percentages,
If-
defense.
So why didn't he do that when he played against Steph?
Oh, that's
When
no,
he played
he
against
was playing
Steph
with
the year
Westbrook.
before,
I mean,
he wasn't
why
playing
didn't
with
he do
Clay.
that?
I would still venture to say that KD probably averaged 35 against Golden State when they lost.
Why
Like,
didn't he beat him?
because it's team.
Because
like,
it's a team.
Because
who's
he had,
my number two?
So,
He
so
had-
when he gets
who's
with
my number
Steph,
three?
then
He
he
had-
wins right away.
when his second best player is Russ.
When he leaves Steph, he loses.
I am teaming. You are now being out.
Before Steph, he can't beat him. He gets
That's-
with Steph, he wins.
that's leadership.
He leaves Steph. Steph, he loses.
you forgot.
And Steph
Steph.
wins
Steph
again.
wins-
You forgot a
again.
step.
You prove him up.
No,
No,
no, you're
I-
proving everyone's point against you right now. You said you couldn't be Steph, and then you get with Steph, you win. But damn, you're better than Steph. So that nullifies all this.
No,
I
that's not
can't
true.
beat you
No.
because I'm better than
That's a
you.
terrible
If I had
That's
others,
terrible.
no, if I had what you had around you, I would have won.
Let me
And
show
I had your coach.
Let's show the step that you skipped. Steph won first. Then,
No,
after
no.
winning it, hold on, let me finish. Let me
You
cook.
said
Hold-
this. You can't slow it down and change it. It's not
I'm
no different.
I'm responding to what you just said.
Advance it. They played together.
Steph won. He then beat KD. KD couldn't beat him, so he joined him. Then he won. It always comes back to Steph being the better player.
Or
Before-
the common denominator here is that is Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr knew how to work the egos and made it work with Steph and KD.
Kind of goes back to Richie's point with the triangle offense. I mean, Kerr's a great coach, but you still need the elite talent.
Yeah, for sure. And people who buy in. And
Kerr is gone. Steph is
there
gone.
could
Kerr not winning
have
that
been a
championship.
tussle between KD and Kerr about figuring out how to work that thing so he can coexist with Steph. I can see that happening. I don't know.
Before KD and after KD, Kerr still won.
You know this is. You know you lost. This is how they say.
ChatGPT said
Hold on.
KD is better, and that's his only. That's what he gonna go
No,
on.
I trust that more than you for real. And me.
I'm giving facts.
No, you're not. Listen to this.
No, I'm not. Right.
Here we go. It
Everything I
says
said was a fact.
it says best overall player on those teams, Kevin Durant. But listen to this. Time out. Steph Curry, the architect, the heart and soul. You know, whenever you're giving out the heart and soul award at a banquet, that motherfucker ain't
What's
the
my
best.
man's name for the
Yeah,
Pacers?
the
for
most
the Pacers,
spirited.
We
the white guy for the Pacers.
TJ McConnell.
That's a McConnell award.
We digging for anything.
Dog, it's the stats.
It's not just stuff like that.
I'm not. All
You
due
the heart
respect.
and soul
All
or
due
That's a
something?
participation trophy.
Dog. I mean, and
All
this is
due
a
respect.
fucking computer.
How many MVPs KD got? One. Because I noticed he keeps bringing up Finals MVP.
He has one.
How many MVPs does Steph have?
I'm not sure. One?
Does he have any?
No, he has unanimous.
I think he has one.
He has yeah.
He's got two.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the only unanimous winner. Just
Dog,
remember
why
that
you?
too. No. Don't keep doing this.
No, you can't.
ChatGPT
No,
that.
I'm done. I'm not done. You can't stay still. I'm talking about as a Warriors. You keep talking about all this other shit.
Because you keep trying
As
to
a
justify he's
warrior.
better, but you brought up the Finals MVP.
Yes,
Every
they
time you
were
bring
Warrior
up his
teammates.
accolades, I
Teammates.
give you accolades, and then you try to discredit them.
Time out. You're giving me stuff before they were teammates. I'm asking you, can you literally have this conversation? This is how you lose. I can tell.
Nah.
This is when you do the
'Cause-
other.
'cause I got
Hey,
facts.
hold on. They were together. Who was better when they were
I
together?
said this
GPT
5
what does
times. I said
GPT
Steph.
I already answered it.
I know,
It said
Rick.
Kevin Durant.
I think Steph is the better player.
They got numbers and all that stuff. And
Yeah, let me give you
I ain't
that.
giving numbers, it's just an opinion. I'm basing off of facts.
ChatGPT's an opinion now?
These are facts.
Whoa, boy, you really going hard. You really want to win this argument. Godly. All right, we can change the topic since ChatGPT's just. No, it's okay.
If ChatGPT has an opinion, we're in trouble.
I know.
You can have a conversation.
We're getting
with,
there.
You can have a conversation with
Facts.
ChatGPT. You know that, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not opinion. It's
So if you're having a
still-
conversation with
It's
it,
an analytical
coming from-
conversation
it's pulling up from what it's
off of
inspired.
And how
objective
many times
measures.
has this come up? You can find a stat or anything to prove whatever point you're trying to make. Doesn't matter what it is.
And it's
You
real
can
easy when your
you
point
can
is
find
right.
articles online that will back any point you're making. There's people who believe that the earth is flat. There's
agree.
articles that will have things that back that theory up. Now, if you go and chat GBT, it can pull that article up. Does that mean it's correct?
No.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But that's
Thank
not,
you.
But that's not opinion.
Damn, why
Thank
you go? Did you mess up something? Because I got him on the ropes. He dead over here, but only as teammates. Hold on.
It's facts, man.
This
Keep
is so
searching.
crazy. All right.
They love to minimize it down to just those 2 Warrior years because you know the rest of that career we talking about.
No, but that was the initial conversation, though. Just the
This is what
1
I'm saying.
year.
Are you okay?
No, initial
No,
conversation
for
was
real,
talking about
for
rings.
real. No.
The initial conversation was about
Did
rings.
Tyler Perry?
No,
Okay,
we've been
no,
moved
yeah,
from
yeah.
the
No, but
rings.
we moved on, and
that's
it was
what led
about.
into this.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't because they were disconnected. I was saying you kept saying how good Steph Curry was. I
I
said,
brought
yeah.
up KD. I'm the one that brought it up because I was
know.
talking about Barkley and we're talking about the lack of
I
rings and
know.
the movement.
You always bring up KD. It's nothing new. The thing is, all I'm talking about, and I don't know why you can't stay in this vacuum to have a conversation, is they actually played together. Who was better when they
said
played together?
5 times. I said I believe Steph is better. Have I not said this multiple times?
Well, that's it. So then why do you give me evidence of before and after to support your point?
I'm giving evidence of everything. Everything.
It's not an everything
When they-
conversation. Wow.
When
What
they played
school?
together, I
PS what?
specifically said
PS what?
it won't work. When they played together, I specifically said
What do you mean it won't work? You're wrong. You're
you
weird
brought up
right now.
Kevin Durant's stats when they played together.
I did.
I said it's easier for him to score because a lot of the attention was on Steph. That's why I say you can't just base it off of what he scored. He scored that because Steph was there.
In the playoffs, 26,
I
go
didn't
Steph.
say that before.
Time out. Go
I definitely
Steph.
said that.
26, KD, 29.6, down at 30. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Oh, my God. 26 to 30, KD. Good list. Rebounds, we know KD got them. Assists, Steph got them. Field goal percentage, KD. Saw Steph as the all-time shooter. 3-point.
Now we gonna question
3-point.
that?
No.
Now we
3-point,
questioning that?
3-point, KD.
Who's a better shooter?
Time out. I know it's Steph, but this is kind of, hey, if you
But
say,
you can't do that. You keep
No,
doing
but we're talking
You
about just
said-
that year. We're talking about just
but
that,
just
just
those
that
years.
series.
Can you
That
let us
series.
live?
That
He
series.
literally
He
just
is
said,
really this
I
wrong?
thought Steph was an all-time shooter.
All time, but he's talking about just this
These
series
years.
right now. Though.
Right.
Is this hard for you,
Why
really?
you keep skipping what he's saying? He literally just said, "Oh, I thought Steph was an all-time shooter."
Dog.
And I said, "Oh, we
He's
gonna do
acknowledging your point with the all time, but
Yes,
going
he's
back to
the
the
best
this
shooter
series
ever, and somebody got on his team and outshot him. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand why it's so hard.
that?" Steph is clearly a better player. Like you're giving he's this great.
Points,
the points are not far off
rebounds,
from each other.
Efficient.
I literally said he got
3
that
points.
because of Steph being there. The type of tension that's on Steph, it gives him the free range to shoot more.
So that's why Shaq was better than Kobe, because the attention that Kobe was getting.
Shaq was just
But
better.
Justin, with
that's
that argument,
why-
with your argument, couldn't you say with KD there, there's less attention on Steph, and he should
No,
have
'cause
stepped
Steph was
up?
doing the same thing either way. Steph position that he plays on that team has not changed regardless if KD was there.
Yeah,
or when
right.
not-
He's
when
even
not
said it
there.
did.
He's always that's
Yeah,
his
he
game.
did.
He's the point guard.
No, because he
KD
had
came there
another
just to
on ball.
score.
He had another on ball
He's the
attack.
point guard, so you can't tell me about points. He's the point guard.
Now you're just lying. We got to get out of here.
He's not
we got to.
Who's the point guard?
Literally,
One
they have
thing I
said.
don't do is lie.
No,
I'm
I
giving
could
you
throw a
facts.
monkey wrench in this whole thing.
Do it.
Okay, hypothetically, say that Carmelo wouldn't play with LeBron. He would be the same thing as KD. He would win. He would probably win those chips, have better stats. But if he left, he wouldn't win nothing else. So is KD? If KD doesn't win his rings, is he Carmelo? Is that what we're saying?
Probably.
He's
That'd
more
probably
than
be the
Carmelo,
that'd probably be the
even though
closest.
Carmelo's great.
That's probably the closest comparison.
That's what I'm saying.
to me would
Because
be.
if Carmelo went to play with LeBron and nobody else, he'd have elevated stats. He probably could have won an MVP or two, and then walked away and had the same career. Like he wouldn't win anywhere else. So
Because
Damn, that's-
offensively, do you think KD is better than Melo? Just a question. Because that can.
Yes,
Thank you.
all around, but not like that whole one-on-one. Like Carmelo was insane.
I think they're neck and neck. Like I think they're equivalent.
because I've always held KD more higher regard than Melo, but
Me too.
that's the
Because of the
same
rings.
conversation though.
It's the ring conversation that Carmelo didn't get any because he didn't do the attempt that KD did to get it.
Right.
What saves KD for me and why I always argue people and I laugh is because I've never been on a team where somebody was better than our best player and we didn't respect him. Like you can't come on, it could be an all-star game, it could be a pickup game. Oh, we running this, and then somebody show up and he better than all of us. That boy is never getting talked about. You can say he came to y'all and y'all were all-star. I'm like, he beat all of us. And KD's numbers, you could try to discount them. KD went somewhere, new system, that Steph was used to and won in, and said, let me outshine you in that. And he did it in the most clutch moments, did it in the most dominant way, and he did it in the finals to just put cherries on top. That guy is forever done data. Now, you can clown him, and only way you're going to clown him is taking an argument somewhere else. But you can't clown somebody who goes to your best and beats you at your best.
Here's why I don't. A very simple response to that. Here's why I don't consider him the best. Because he needed Steph to get him to the finals to even get in that position. Because without Steph, hold up,
they went to the finals.
Without
once, right?
Steph,
They did.
They went to the finals
I'm
once.
talking about to get. You said he hit one
That-
finals
that-
MVP.
that- you
That's not
just
gonna
say you
work.
forgot it. Just
That
say
ain't
you
gonna
forgot
work.
it. They went to the
to
finals
Get to
before.
final to get a finals MVP means you won. It means you won. You have to win the championship.
No, didn't somebody?
There's one
There's
except
there's
Jerry
one.
West.
Jerry
There's
West.
one. That's
Jerry
two.
West.
That's two.
Two what?
These are two miscues by you. Keep going. Make
We're
this
talking
very
about
simple
in
argument.
general, that one
Yo, made me pull
time,
my guns out.
Everybody that has won finals MVP has won the championship.
No.
They wouldn't have got. He would never have gotten that without Steph. Steph.
I
has
give
been
you
to
that.
the
I
finals
agree with that.
before.
Totally.
With Steph's not on that Warriors team, even if KD went there and Steph left, let's say they swap players, they wouldn't have went to the finals. So I will never put KD as better than him, regardless of the stat, because he needed Steph there in order to even get to that point.
I
because
agree
without,
with you.
He could never get there.
Okay, I agree with you. You got me into Sierra Canyon. You got me into the school. Congrats. Now I'm the valedictorian.
To me,
And you used to be.
That doesn't make you the better player. And we're not talking about one guy who's here and one guy who's here. Steph's an all-time great.
I know. But when wherever you rank him, there were 2 years plus where that guy on your team is better than you. And you can say for whatever reasons, but he proved that. And that's all I'm saying. Everything else is a different conversation.
Curiosity here. Who's ranked higher all time right now to you?
Steph.
Oh, okay.
And I know why. Going back to our other conversation, you have to do that because he has more rings. He did it without him and with him. I know the game is rigged. I've been saying this. It's the whole effect of how many he got. Oh, he did it and he was a cupcake. Fine. But if you ask me to say who's better, I still give it to Steph. But KD is.
It's not the rings.
I
mean, rings play into that, but
KD gonna lose. He gonna go down less regarded, like Carmelo. He gonna go down less regarded, and Steph gonna get more regarded because he little and he did all this.
That too.
You know, like if Iverson would have got one, maybe two, oh my God, he'd probably be top 10. Yeah. Like think about it. Sometimes we're rooting for somebody to go up, and KD is one of those you root for him to go down.
And you bringing up Iverson.
Oh, we being peaceful now? You being
No, I mean, we always have
No.
peaceful conversations. I mean, I just prove him wrong a lot, and he moves the goalposts. So I'm used to it. But real quick.
Eugene, I can't
No, you guys both won your specific arguments. It's just you're arguing two different topics.
things.
That's
Thank
what it
you.
is.
You always
yeah.
going, Steph is the better. I'm
No,
like,
he
duh.
changes the topic when I cook him on his.
Both of you do. Both of you do, though.
But look.
Why you go to Eugene to try and referee? he gonna over polite
He
it.
brings up Eugene and
He
says,
gonna
"Why I
over
go to
polite it.
Eugene?"
Hey,
You caught that, right?
nobody caught that.
They both studied at the school of LeBron James word salad. They both threw a bunch of bullshit.
But the Iverson point.
Because this is
Don't
our last
make no
point.
damn
The Iverson
sense.
point.
We run out of battery.
Because you said Iverson was small. Had he won one, that would have made a huge difference. That's also, I think, why LeBron, that works against LeBron. Because you playing against this
Yep.
whole generation. You the
Yep.
biggest, baddest guy.
Yep.
You bigger than everybody. You stronger than everybody. You should have way more championships because you should be way more dominant.
Nope.
Just like Shaq
No.
was bigger and stronger than everybody.
That's a
and he
lie.
did his thing.
You're doing what Ryan Coogler said, and you just disagree with him. You just now made
Oh,
his
I never
point.
even spoke on that.
No,
went
this
to
is,
Terry.
you just did. You just did. He couldn't win more because Steph Curry, Mr. All Time. Mr. All Time's in your way. So this is more
And you
than
ain't that guy,
Olajuwon.
LeBron.
Olajuwon, as great as you are, you ain't Steph Curry. Because you could take from Jordan. Oh, you couldn't, Olajuwon. But this guy, Steph Curry, took from LeBron. That's his point. He's like, dog, we are here, 1A, 1B, whereas in Jordan era, it was 1, 2.
You know why that Kugler argument is wrong?
You just proved it right, but go ahead.
No. Because LeBron was in the league 12 years before Steph won his first championship.
But how long was
Why
Steph
you
in the league?
didn't? Why? What happened in them 12 years?
What year did Steph
and
get drafted?
You joined two other Hall of Famers in those 12 years.
What year
and
did
still
Steph
did.
get drafted?
08?
Look how he just made that shit up. Hey.
I don't remember.
It was 3 years. LeBron was in the league 3-4 years before Steph.
Right.
And that,
Steph then
That's,
went
and
into
Duncan, dog, Steph, LeBron, and Duncan. Good luck trying to get this. Versus Mike. Name Mike 3. Name the 3 with Mike when Mike was getting them. 90 on. Go.
Olajuwon was in there.
Keep going.
Barkley was in there.
Keep going.
Magic was in there.
No, Magic done.
Isaiah was in there.
Magic done. That ain't the same as Steph.
It's not a 1A, 1B.
We gotta bring that list.
LeBron had it harder.
We're going to make a
I was
list.
looking up Steph. Steph came in 09.
09. Okay,
09.
so 5 years.
So I missed the question.
6
That's why.
years.
What was
6 years? Why?
LeBron came in 03.
Oh, it was 03? Okay. 6 years.
Still couldn't do it. And then joined 2 other Hall of Famers, and in 12 years still couldn't do what Steph did. Come on.
They got the same amount though, right? Yes.
They don't look the same.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh, hey, look over there. You want to see them trophies? They look.
team
They
out.
look.
One team out.
They look identical.
Save me. The other
Really?
one said, I got this. There's a difference. There's a difference.
I never disrespected a champion like that. Oh, you guys won because they got hurt and you had to go over there and you had to transfer and you really did you win a championship? Hold on, I'm being real. Have you ever won a championship at any level? High school. Mm-hmm. Were you good? Like were you a contributor?
Yeah.
How good? Like what number on the team?
Probably second best.
That means third. Okay.
No, I'm second.
Well, you
I'll
said
just-
probably
I'll just
second
be
best.
humble.
So you were Steph
I'll
Curry
just be
on your
humble.
team.
Eugene with the
Nice button on that.